And welcome. I transitioned a little earlier on that one, but to week 18 of Shadowguard, where we are still hunting a vampire in the town of Davenport. Quick announcements. I don't think I have any whatsoever. So Charlie, do you have any?
Shadowguard is now completely up to date on YouTube. If you want to watch back episodes, I'll have the bot post the YouTube link in just a second. If you're not subscribing already, please do so. Also, our new Stars Without Number campaign, episode 2 just went up. Space Case, it's also out on podcasts. You can find it on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and also our YouTube channel. There was one more. Oh, and our new Overmorning Harry Potter campaign. Episode 0 went up on YouTube. It will also be up as a podcast, probably starting tomorrow. But easiest way to check all of that out is to just check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Those are my announcements. Thank you.
I actually remembered one thing. So we started it last week, but we are going to continue on with it. I don't know if you already have the response for it or not. Charlie explaining how it works, but basically viewers are able to buy critical fails or critical successes for the players in the game. It costs 1,000 of the dungeon experience to do. You can only do one every hour, so you usually can get about 3 maximum in the game. And obviously we'll do a slight quick retcon on when it happens, but you can't basically you can't retcon one from 10 minutes ago. It'll have to be within next 30 seconds to a minute probably maximum. But yeah, if you're interested in doing that, you're more than welcome, guys. Are included, and we'll just go with that. If you want them to miss an attack, you want them to succeed on a skill check or a saving throw, feel free to throw it in at them. Other than that, let's just kind of do a quick reintroduction of the characters really fast. I'll do a quick recap, and then we will get right into the game.
I think we changed it, by the way. It's 30-minute cooldown, but 60 minutes per user. So only one person use it per hour, but technically y'all could do it about every 30 minutes if you really want to.
Okay. So, Magnus, go ahead and describe your character, situation, how you're feeling, what's going on in the town so far, and all that type of stuff. You're muted. Nope. He broke it.
Rip. So while he's doing this, do you want to move on to my character?
Weird. My push to talk doesn't seem to be working if I'm outside of the Discord window.
That's strange.
Put it back on voice activity. Can you hear me now?
You're perfectly
fine. So I'm Magnus Munch. I am a gnomish necromancer. I'm a goodly necromancer who's interested in researching the undead and necromancy for the good of the world and for medical purposes and scientific purposes. I'm just your average wizard. I'm an inquisitive study whore. I'm also kind of a dirty little gnome in a top hat with a bulging eye. Very necromancer looking, kind of a dark cloak. A little bit unsettling.
Okay. How is Magnus feeling about the investigation so far?
So Magnus, I think last time was kind of talking about Elle, and I am Magnus is excited about the investigation in that he wants to find out more about this vampire. He wants to, find out about as much about all vampires as he can, but he's also a little worried because he knows that in studying the vampire, he's got to get close to the vampire, and he is aware of how dangerous that is. But more than anything, I think he's worried about Elle and Valna right now.
Okay.
And that's just kind of looming in his mind as well. So he wants to be here and focused on this vampire issue, but part of him is thinking I'm a little worried about Elle and Valna because we had talked about it last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a month since you dropped Valna off with the head
Grand Alchemist.
The Grand Alchemist, that's what it was. I can't remember what the actual name was. I had to look it up in about 2 seconds. So let's go on and move over with that and move over to Luke. Describe your character really quick. Tell us how you're feeling about the situation at the moment and all that type of stuff.
Oh man, let me tell you. So, I play Luke Warmwater. He is a halfling artificer descended from the Great Cardinal Pudding Factory family. He rubs elbows with the He feels very indifferent about the situation. He feels like everyone's trying to be taking too many steps to get it done than they should.
You should burn the
And,
town down, right?
Yeah, he feels like the simplest solution's often the best solution. Like, make it more complicated. And, he's been wondering this entire time why people still let him make the decisions. So, that's it.
Okay. L, describe your character and tell us how you're feeling about all this stuff, and maybe including a little bit about Velna.
L. Clark is I would say tall, but that's only compared to the squad team Avengers, whatever we are. She is currently slightly stressed about Valna, her lover from
Wolfpine.
Who got taken, well, not taken, but we gave her to the Grand Alchemist under some pretty sketchy circumstances.
Completely legit.
She's excited about learning more about the vampire, but also worried about the little boy turning into said vampire type thing. And
Oh yeah, that's definitely Magnus's chief concern. I forgot about that.
I was planning on bringing it up in the recap.
and yeah.
Okay. And then our final, the best of them all, Glod.
Indeed, the best. I'm Glod Rocksmacker. I'm a dwarvish ranger with the Red Suns, a rival monster hunting guild,
Yeah, basically.
semi-rival. I took the contract to hunt this vampire. I'm coming back to finish the job because it nearly killed me last time, and I'm not the wisest person around.
Okay. How are you feeling about the investigation since you've returned and like the situation that's happening in the town?
So I'm a bit troubled about the situation happening in the town. The creature, the Alp, seems to be more bold than last time, which is troubling.
That she does for sure.
So I'm in a hurry to get it done.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do a quick recap, and then we'll get right into it. So, as everybody knows, yeah, you're hunting an Alp. You arrived in town last session, and during that session, well, technically the session before that a little bit, but since you've arrived, Luke has thrown a party. You guys have raided the hospital twice. Once at night, once actually like in person, like, hey, we're here. Luke is a little bit of a celebrity going on right now from his little dealings he caused. You have met a halfling, Luke, named Vivian with blonde hair, who gave you her journal, which, Magnus, you read through, which kind of entailed a little bit about the Alp, how it turned into a dog, how it killed her husband, how she's been hunting it, and basically how she, in a sense, dragged you all here to help her kill this thing for her own revenge, was kind of how it worked. And obviously you can tell she's not from this place. After that, you guys kind of regrouped and did a little bit more, investigating here and there. You met a halfling with a mohawk that went by the name, I forgot to pull
Eric Pridehammer.
Yes, Eric Pridehammer. No relation to the Pridehammer in Valden. One's an orc and one's a halfling. Who offered some information to the group as long as you participated in a special tournament of sorts. Anything goes, no killing though is really the only rule, and there'll be healers on standby to bring you back up in between fights and all that type of stuff, which you all agreed to do tonight. So you have you're roughly around noon right now. Magnus and Elle, you visited Izzy prior to that. You went to her herbalist shop, you bought a couple scrolls. She spoke about needing some assistance with gathering a maca root, or as much as the maca root as you can get from the sewers. which you guys were thinking about going into to check and see if like what was going on with Vivian down there.
You know, I don't know if I wrote down what scrolls I got.
Illusionary, Script, and Fear.
Let me just see. Maybe I
literally just looked them up or watched it like a half hour ago.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't add them to my spellbook. I gotta make a check to try and add them anyway. So.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at the end, she gave you a key that opens up a rusty gate at the docks district below the high district, which is the district on the mountainside. So after that, we kind of had Glod and Luke. You guys went to the hospital. You were there, but Luke, you ran into the man you saw the night before that you convinced to leave the place. He ran terrified as a guard. And he informed you there was another killing last night in the docks, which you instead of going into the body is already in the morgue, but you decided you were going to go check out the crime scene in a sense, and we kind of faded out on you walking towards the docks at this point. I think as this session starts, we kind of fade in as you're like walking along one of the longer paths. One of the longer roads in the dock district, which actually is just one long road anyways. So you continue to walk for a bit. You guys talk about anything on the way there, or do you guys just kind of go for a bit?
I don't know what to talk to about. So, Glad, have you ever had elven pudding before?
Well, I have, but it's nothing on dwarven custard.
Dwarves would say that they're quite often.
And anyone with proper taste buds.
You're gonna regret saying that at some point there in your life,
Doubt it, but we'll see.
Okay. As you say, you will see. You guys come to a point where you're making a turn. Let me give you guys a token as to where you are at, which I think I accidentally have on the wrong layer. I think I'm on the GM layer for some weird reason. I apologize, Glod. You were a GM layer token for a bit. There we go. All right. So as you walk along this path here, as you turn the corner, there is just a massive pool of blood on the corner.
I think that's where he died.
Licks my finger for some reason ahead of time. Puts finger into pool of blood. How
Sure.
warm and or cold is this blood currently?
It is congealed a bit.
So it feels old.
Well, yes, because the kill happened last night, and you guys are now the next day.
I thought vampires like to drink blood or something like that. This is kind of crazy. Glad?
Is it a loss for words?
Yeah, it's...
I
mean, clearly something died here. And we were told there's a murder, so...
I taste it. Does it taste humanoid, or does it taste more like a cow or something else?
I don't think you would know the difference.
I like to think I know the difference.
So, do we have a flashback of Luke's childhood where you're trying a bunch of different bloods here and there? It's just flashbacks of here's a dead cow, you put your finger in it. Here's a dead person on the side of the road, finger.
Yes. Hey, it's part of taste testing for blood pudding, okay?
Literal blood pudding?
Literal blood pudding.
Okay, no. You don't know what this is. So,
so it's not blood. I know it's not blood, right?
It's blood. It is obviously blood. But you don't know, you can't tell whether it's orc, human, bovine, dog, cat, child, wife. You have no idea.
Does it taste awful?
It tastes like blood. Does Luke think that tastes gross?
Ugh.
What the hell's wrong, boy? You don't know what dog blood tastes like?
Tastes like Cheetos.
So, but yeah, you go there. It's a massive pile, or not pile, but pool of blood. It is right on the edge of the building. You guys look around. What do you do?
Is there anyone around that we can talk to that might have seen?
I mean, there's dock workers that are kind of wandering around.
Do I see a dog?
Yeah, You see probably a few dogs. This
Is there
is
a black dog?
going to give me a perception check.
Perception check.
No, it's an automatic fail. You can take
Oh.
it.
Motherfucker.
And
Thank
no, you see no black dog, but there are
Thank you,
other
Easy
dogs and
Sailor.
cats around, like grabbing out of trash cans and whatnot. I mean, it is the dock, so there's a bunch of like scraps everywhere for them to eat. There is though the floating kitten, which is in the dock district, which is the orange square on your map right there. That is a nearby inn. I mean, there are, like I said, dock workers kind of wandering around. You probably could find a gray loss somewhere down by the actual, like, docks themselves. That might be able to give you some kind of answer.
So glad, maybe we should go see if this guy who was attacked last night stayed at the inn. Maybe we can get some leads there.
One it hurt. So we learned about this guy at the guy from the hospital, right?
The guard that Luke, like, scared out the night before came back and informed you guys of it before he even, like, he was in his street clothes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so I guess we go to the inn.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys head over to the floating kitten. It looks almost identical to the sunken kitten. Like, down to, like, the only thing I think is different is maybe a slight, like, variation in the trim color. Like, one different hue off. Yeah, as you step in, you see a person is at that one. Is actually, I don't think I'm gonna give you the first one. This one is a human, a very old-looking man, known as Nimrine Lone Spark. He's very muscular though for being an old man. Like he's the person at the bar. He's got like the apron on with like the short sleeve shirts, but his muscles are just bulging out. As he kind of nods at you as you walk in.
Oh, hey dear. How you doing, feller?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today? Can I get you a drink, food, breakfast, lunch?
Great thing you said food. You got any elven pudding? Carved elven pudding?
Nah.
It's
We
the
don't
best
carry
kind of pudding.
We don't carry that stuff here.
We'll have ale. Always time for a drink.
I can understand that. And he goes, and he comes back after like a couple seconds. He just goes under the bar, pulls up 2, goes, it'll be 4 copper.
Sounds good.
Awesome there. So you just gonna double fist that, Glod, or you're gonna share?
Yeah, this is for me.
Oh, okay.
You didn't invite me to your party the other night, so.
You were busy. It's not my fault. Anyway, there. So you hear about the attack that happened last night? Isn't that crazy?
I did.
Did you know the guy at all?
Yeah, he's a regular. Name was Travis.
Was Travis here last night by chance?
Yeah, he was.
Did you, see him leave with anybody by chance? Anybody in particular? Maybe a pretty woman or, some kind of mangy dog or anything like that?
Well, one, we don't let dogs in my establishment. Kick them out as soon as they try to come in. So, no, obviously.
But Glad's still here. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He's a wizened old man. Looks and goes, I mean, I don't normally typically pay too much attention. But yeah, I believe I saw him leave with, I think it was an elven girl, blonde hair.
Elven, all elves seem to be blonde. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
I mean, I don't stereotype like that. I mean, and if you do, you do, I guess.
Yeah, anyway, did you catch her name or anybody talk to her or anything like that? Anyone else you can direct me to? I'm sorry, I didn't know. I don't know if you know this, but I'm part of the Shadowguard. We're here to solve your problems,
Actually, it's the Red Suns, but continue.
He had to hire us, so.
Why did you hire them? No. So he looks and what was your question? I kind of lost it in that little kerfuffle.
Is there Is there anybody still here from last night that would have seen or talked to any of these people?
No, most of them are in bed. The woman I don't recall ever seeing, but I usually stay in the docks, and there are plenty of people that pass through, use this place as an inn when they arrive, and leave the next day. So it could have been anybody. But you could probably come back tonight and see if anybody knew or not. The normal standard patrons, you know.
Quick question though. Have you ever seen that elvish woman before?
Couldn't say I have. Not that I can remember.
Hold that thought there for a second as I turn to Glad. Glad, did you say this woman can change into any kind of woman shape, or did she look like an elf when you saw her first time, or? You saw her. She was not an elf, from what I can remember.
Yeah, she was always changing into different shapes, looking at different people, different races.
So how do we know who she is if we don't have any way to identify what she looks like?
I mean, like on most anything, you just learn its patterns and then go from there, track it down. Not that I expect you know much about hunting and tracking, but...
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, you tend to like your cities and your big crowds.
There's a better gift to finding somebody in the city than, something in an empty field,
If you say so.
Sure. Anyway, so
Yeah,
let's go for this elvish woman there. You can finish your drink later.
Oh, I already did.
He puts them both down. They're empty.
Shock and awe that we were having a complete conversation. He somehow managed to drink it all when we were talking.
I did when you were talking to the old guy. Just...
that's fair. We should probably go look to see if we can find someone matching that description.
Okay. So you guys just gonna kind of wander around the docks until you find some people that like, yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I didn't know how to approach it.
Why don't you both give me? Are you both proficient in investigation checks?
I am. Yes, I have a plus.
One of you can do an investigation check with an advantage, as the other person is helping as you guys wander around the docks.
What's your plus?
2. So
I will take the roll.
Okay.
25.
Yeah, 25 is really good. Okay, so it still takes some time. Probably about a good half hour. Be like, hey, have you seen an elven woman with blonde hair? And like a couple occasions, like, yeah, no. Eventually, as you're kind of traveling through, kind of asking, you finally run into like you're asking one person, and he's like, and I'm like, no, and you're like giving up, and you hear a guy from the side go, yeah, I was there last night. I saw an elven woman with blonde hair. Weird elbows.
Elbows? What do you mean weird elbows? Were they like hooked? Jagged? Pointy?
They were strange. She was very, very defensive about him. I mean, beautiful looking woman, but like she ended up rolling her sleeve up at one point, and you could. I don't know how she bends her arms.
Can you kind of describe it like an animal? Like if an animal had the same kind of elbow, what kind of animal would it be?
I don't know animals that well. I know fish.
What kind of fish would it be like?
None.
It doesn't have like a weird, like carp jaw or anything like that?
It's an elbow? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They were weird looking. They were strange. I only saw her for a brief second. But she left with... God, who did she leave with?
I repeat the name.
Travis?
Yeah. Left with Travis. Good man. Wonder how he's doing today.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's taking a dirt nap.
So he passed out. Wait. Dead.
Dirt nap? Yeah.
Did you see that blood puddle down the street? That's Travis.
Well, it's
God.
kind of part of him,
He goes, I gotta go. Oh no. And he like runs off.
Oh, nice talking with you.
Yeah, and he keeps going.
You scared him away.
You know, I think it's your odor that did that.
I bathed 3 nights ago.
Did you ask? I don't even think that's true.
Oh man, he went. He like dropped over like a pond he saw, which got really awkward because we kind of get the flashback of him in a pond, like watering himself off, and there's this image of Vivian in the pond.
Shocking all in her face.
And like gone. So yeah, they go running off, and I think that's where we're gonna kind of fade out on your group, and we'll fade back in with Magnus and L. Magnus and L, what do you have left Izzy's shop, which is in the Ember Talon Gate district, which is right at the front gate. Are you going like over towards the docks, towards where she kind of described the entrance for the sewer and like check it out? Are you going back to the Sunken Kitten to wait up for the group? Are you guys just kind of wandering and talking? What are you guys doing?
I don't wanna.
You say, El, what we're doing.
We are drinking our sorrows away. Ever so slightly, not enough to like,
Yeah, you're just having a good. No, she didn't. She wasn't hungover. She was perfectly fine the next day. Doesn't get hangovers apparently. So you guys are at the bar, kind of like just casually drinking and having like a drink while you chat and talk about stuff. Volna.
The boy.
Yeah, we're
vampire.
talking. Oh, my.
So you're both sitting down at the bar, kind of discussing about the child. Like, how does that conversation go?
So we're sitting at the bar and we're just like lamenting about this child who obviously has vampirism, and that's like I guess the first thing we get our brandies or whatever and sit down, and I'm like,
Well, El, we should definitely check the sewers and whatever else, but first, we really should take care of that boy. He's going to kill that poor herbalist, I guarantee it, if we leave it unchecked.
I agree that it's a problem, but that has to be dealt with so soon.
It's only going to get worse. I could see in the child that the transformation's almost complete.
I suppose you're right. It's just, can you blame me for trying to put it off a little bit?
No, I can't.
and then like I take like another like deep, sip off my brandy, and I'm like,
As soon as we can meet back up with Glod and Luke, we'll make them aware of the situation and go back to the herbalist shop and take care of it.
All right.
Okay. So about a half hour goes by of you guys sitting there, kind of almost like quiet, just in your thoughts, having your drinks. Do you eventually just wait for Luke and Glod to return, like you guys kind of planned, or do you go looking for them?
I think we just probably hunker down again. Like even Magnus isn't rushing to murder a child, even though he knows it's a monster at this point.
Okay. So kind of then fade back in. This is like right where we left off, Luke and Glod. Are you guys have just finished talking to the guy, had your little back and forth, and then do you go somewhere else? What is your guys' plan?
Is there anything else you wanted to do, Luke?
I don't actually remember what we were doing. My kind of brain farted for a moment. What were we doing there, Glad?
We were investigating the death of Travis.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where were we going? Were we going to go meet up with everyone else, or did you wanna, cruise around looking for some weird elbowed ladies? You know, maybe a black dog with a weird. Wait a minute, there. Maybe she had a dog elbow.
Why the hell would you want a dog elbow?
Well, you know, he said he had a weird elbow, so maybe that's connected there. Maybe we should just look for
The
dogs with
arm
weird
bone?
elbows. Yeah, you know, whatever. You're the hunter. You should know all this stuff.
Glod, vampires are not your specialty.
Yeah.
Which you can then point out to Luke that the Shadowguard specialty is vampires.
Now, you know you're supposed to be the book type about the vampires, right?
Oh yeah, you know, are you saying that I'm better at hunting vampires than you?
I'm better at hunting everything in general, but you read more books on vampires because I doubt you've ever seen one.
Seen a vampire? Of course I've seen a vampire. You've never seen a vampire before? I saw one turn to mist right in front of me. You're just kind of a jerk, you know. I think her name was Nancy.
Sounds about right. Nancy's are jerks usually.
Usually, yeah. You know, they're so negative. Anyway, let's go find Magnus and out there. Maybe they'll have a better idea what to do with this information.
Kind of hurt.
Okay. So we're just going to fade out, fade back in as you guys enter into the Sunken Kitten in the town square, where both Magnus and Elle are kind of taking, like, they're sitting solemnly at the bar stools, just taking, like, a sip of their drinks.
Oh, hey there, Elle and Magnus. So, question for you. You seen anyone with weird elbows today?
Weird elbows.
Yeah, you know, they're like kind of weird shaped, weird.
Disfigured. Would be a better
Sure, that's a good word to use, brain.
I'm not sure what you're. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I haven't seen any strange elbows. We did see some other strange things.
Oh yeah, what's
Like-
strange to you?
Well, if you don't mind, would you come with us? There's something we need to take care of, I think.
And like
First
Magnus
off,
kind of sighs.
I put my finger up to Magnus. Before we go anywhere, do you kind of want to let me know what kind of information you're going to drag me into before I get there so I can prepare?
Can I at least get a drink first?
You already had a drink.
You're literally putting one
This
down
morning.
and trying to get another one.
Yes.
So Magnus is gonna be like,
Well, Luke, we're going to visit a sick child. And hopefully in his suffering.
What's that got to do with a vampire?
Yeah, you know, I agree with Glad on this one. What's that have to do with the vampire?
The child, unfortunately, is turning into a vampire.
So why didn't you just ice him there?
Well,
Well,
that's the reasonable thing to do.
because I didn't have Glod's silver sword.
You know, there's other
You
ways to
got
kill a
stakes or
vampire.
holy
You
water
know.
on you?
What's that, Glod?
Don't you got stakes or holy water or
I
holy
think I left
symbols?
My holy water's in the cart. Actually, that's a good point.
You know, we could just drown him in it. That would be, humane, right?
Regardless, we need to go take care of it before it gets any worse.
Should we go get the barrel then, or no?
"Do we have a barrel of holy water?"
I
think
don't
we
know. We have a barrel from the.
I
The
mean,
shop,
you could
right?
try find someone to bless a barrel of water, I guess.
Wait,
But
if we add.
Do we have the holy beer left?
I mean, I've got 2 flasks of holy water on me.
Okay, I had holy water, I thought, but I don't see it in my inventory,
So-
so I'm not gonna presume that I do
Can I
have.
ask a
Um,
quick question, Aaron?
go ahead.
If we have water and add holy water to it, would that water not become holy water as well?
It would not.
It just dilutes it.
Correct.
That's it's still holy water.
Some of it's holy water.
they separate like oil and water, you know. It's just holy water and water. But in this case, at least Magnus, Luke, and Elle, you would all know this child is not fully turned yet. It is not a vampire spawn. It has not shifted. It has not died yet. It must die before it actually turns.
But I
Right.
know of any cases ever of turning back vampirism. Like,
No.
would I know any way of that ever
There-
throughout history?
There is nothing in any lore that you have read from any book in the Shadowguard that involves being able to cure vampirism. If they knew it, they would try to use it much more often. It would be much more widely known.
Magnus
Um,
says,
There's one known cure.
You know,
Head off.
maybe we should take this and deal with it on our own time. If this child is truly thing, and you said that she was, where is this child?
Bifaz at the potion shop.
You know,
Right?
maybe
Is
we
that what
should
it was?
insist
No,
that.
it was Izzy's.
Oh, that's right. It's Izzy's, the herbalist. Izzy's herbs. Yes, that's it. Excuse me.
We should probably insist that we take care of that child since we have better resources.
Look, I'm not ready to waste time on this. We're going to walk in there. I'm going to distract this woman. Glod, you take the child's head.
Sounds like a plan.
You gotta explain it to her. It's kind of rude to walk in someone's shop and just murder somebody.
She's aware of what's going on. Maybe not of the severity, but I'd rather
When
do
she
it.
sees the body smoking with the silver, she'll know something's up.
That's right, and I'd rather do it before she has time to complain than wait. Sound like a plan?
I don't know if I can get behind murdering a child. A stranger, sure, but not a child.
This is not
What
a
if it-
child.
Go ahead.
It's no child. It's a vampire. Don't forget.
Can I?
and
stick
I like,
the card
and
outside?
as I say, don't forget that. Like I tap the badge on your chest real hard a couple times, and then walk back towards the bar.
You feel the impression just like stay there for like a minute or so after he does it. But continue. Whatever you're gonna say.
Okay,
That's
fine. We'll go take care of it.
Great. And then I order another round of drinks for everyone. I'll take a 10 silver out of my pack.
Cool. You get like a middle shelf drink. Everybody, you take it. You all, throw it back real quick. Shake it off.
Do I see anybody with weird elbows?
Give me a perception check.
Please roll perfect and give me the answer. Yes.
So when we get all of these like drinks passed around to us, Magnus gathers everyone around, and like I say, like the Shadowguard oath real quick, which is just like a couple lines about protecting from the encroaching darkness, and then we all like cheers to it and drink.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you throw it back. You see nobody with disfigured elbows.
Or dog, or anything.
There is no dog inside the inn.
Okay.
Okay. Then you look around, and then you go over to Izzy's. So, you guys get there. I'm real curious, Ella. How are 'cause you've been quiet this entire conversation. Are you lost in thought? What's going through Ella's head? Is you either walking there or during the conversation?
She's definitely dreading the situation to come. 'Cause Izzy just found him, right?
The kid was given to her care because no one else would help, and she's doing what she can to try to help.
So,
It's a street rat.
Yeah, so he doesn't have any parents.
Mm-hmm.
With that knowledge, I think Ella is just feeling so bad. He doesn't have anyone. He has to die.
On the way over there, I'm gonna ask Elle
That herb you bought that calms the nerves. You
Mm.
still have some?
I do.
Perhaps you should administer some to the child before Glod does the deed.
I'm so sorry.
What's so funny? I'm just gonna do the deed.
I'd like to tap one of them on the shoulder and walk behind them. I think she's really bad.
Jazzy's losing it today.
That's fine.
I tap on Magnus' shoulder.
Yes, Luke.
Your
thoughts.
I was thinking, if we take the kid ourselves, we don't have to necessarily off him. We could use him to study, more vampirism and find out if there's a better way in of turning it. There's not a lot of information about this. We could make a lot of headways, and I know you like to study things too.
Nerds.
So your plan is to take the child alive?
That's something we could do instead of offing the child, on the spot. He's not going to understand why we're going to kill him.
I just don't know what kind of vampire he's been bit by or what the timetable is for his transformation. The boy may have died already, in which case we'll have to fight something much, much worse.
I just think we could kind of, store him someplace safe and then do some more research,
Do you have manacles?
Yes.
Is it...
Those are not available in a general store.
What are manacles again?
Handcuffs.
I have a
Handcuffs.
pair on me.
Handcuffs? I can make some.
I-
I can find something that could do the job.
After Magnus suggested, though, he takes a second. He's like,
But I understand where you're coming from, Luke. If it weren't a child, I would agree. What kind of existence is it to be imprisoned and prodded and studied until
You know-
you're beheaded and killed?
You're suggest. If it's gonna be a vampire, what does it matter if it's a child or an adult?
Well, it's still a child for now, but
So you're gonna off a child? It's even
Yes.
worse.
oh, that's better
never
than
done it?
that's better than imprisoning a child, like you're suggesting.
No, we're trying to help him.
We're trying to help others like him in the future, yes, but
Yeah,
not.
some good deeds require bad things to happen first.
You're a Shadowguard member. The first thing they teach you is there's only one thing that can help vampirism.
Death.
Yeah, but you don't always know if the Shadowguard's 100% right with their philosophy.
If I didn't know that, then I wouldn't have taken my oath. And then I start walking away from Luke back towards Izzy's
Okay.
with Glod in tow.
Okay. So
I
yeah,
think Draggle behind, just so you're aware.
yeah. I think Elle does also. As you guys walk. When you go through the small little building, into Izzy's herbs. And she is there. She's dusting off one of her bookshelves that she uses to hold potions and herbs and stuff like that. As you walk in, she sees you and goes, "Oh, you're back. Have you brought the root already? Did you go overnight?"
Hey,
That's only an hour. So did you already go and come back? That was fast.
Magnus is like, actually, I was a bit unhappy with some of the scrolls I purchased. I did notice some of the runes were drawn improperly. If I could just go through these with you and get you to make some corrections real quick, if you don't mind.
can I sell some stuff too, or no?
It depends on what you have. Let me assist him really fast. I can surely promise you that I wrote nothing incorrectly.
Well, let me show you.
and I stride towards a desk or whatever surface it seems she has set up for scroll writing, and lay the scrolls out. Whatever surface is farthest away or would get her to turn her back to the back door where the kid is being kept.
Right.
I try and steer her towards, and I spread a bunch of scrolls out on the desk, and I don't even get the right ones out. I get a bunch of other scrolls I've written out, and I start showing her how I did my symbols in the scrolls. See this here, how I drew this rune is actually a gnomish rune, and I'm teaching her or trying to distract her anyway.
Okay, give me a
Deception?
deception. I'd give you performance.
Not Arcana.
No, because you're not necessarily. These aren't real scrolls. So
Well, they are real scrolls. They're just not the ones she wrote. I'm just trying to I'm talking you should draw your symbols more like the ones I've drawn here. See, this is an old gnomish rune. I'm trying to just get her talking to me about scroll writing.
if you did this, it'd be better.
Correct.
Okay, Arcana's okay for that.
Yeah, my main goal here is just to get her to enter in a conversation. As a scroll writer, she's got to have some interest in chatting about this, with someone else who knows what they're talking about. Oh yeah, 23.
Okay, yeah. So you definitely capture her attention. As Glod, you're going to try to attempt to slip into the back room.
Yep.
Okay, can you give me a stealth check?
I'll try.
With advantage, because I'm
Yeah, it would be with advantage. Yeah.
So 14.
All right. I'm just going to roll her perception at a disadvantage, just a standard d20. It doesn't make It's a 2 and a 5. So either way, yeah, no problem. So you slip through because it's a beaded curtain for the doorway. So you kind of push them to the side and they just barely jingle a little bit, and you slowly put them back into place. and you step in there. Luke, what are you doing?
That.
I guess you're just sitting there like there. Elle, are you inside the hut, or inside not the hut but the building, or are you like outside? Where are you at?
Can I like give a small portion of the plant to somebody and then stay outside?
So you want to try to sneak into the back also and give some to the child?
No, I think she meant to one of us, right?
Oh, one of them. Okay.
Yeah, so like I'll crush it up and put it in my water skin, and like give the water skin to Glod.
Okay.
But I also tell Glod, like, after Elle is out of earshot, like, if it's too much trouble to administer the medicine, just do the deed.
Gladly.
And yeah, we had the walk-in. So Elle's outside. You're kind of like just preparing yourself, like leaned up against the building. Luke's on the opposite. Literally, it's like we have the wall, and it's you on one side and Luke on the other side. You like kind of looking down, just like God. And then Luke's just like, like hurry
So
up already.
bored.
It's the exact opposite like views of how this is going. And then obviously we see kind of a quick like turn over to Magnus like pointing to a room. It's all quiet and silent, and the entire I think in this case the entire like sound and everything just goes quiet as you then Glod step into the back room. And on one of the beds back there, it's a small little bed, like a twin-size bed. You see a child breathing like heavily, just in and out, sleeping on a pillow, covered like up by a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm gonna creep up, reaching in my bag, ignoring the water, ignoring the medicine, taking out a wooden stake.
Okay.
And I want to just put a stake through this kid's chest. I'm
Okay.
not gonna risk him becoming a vampire.
Okay, give me. And so you just walk up to it and just like stab down.
Yeah,
How-
I mean, I'm fairly respectful and solemn about it, but I'm not taking pleasure in it, but
Okay.
doing
So
my job.
yeah, you step through, you kind of put the water skin, just ignore it. We see like reaching that way, and
Yeah.
instead of grabbing the water skin, you grab the stake. The child is like laying on his side. We see him brown hair. It like opens for like almost like a yawn at one point, or like a deep breath, and you see like the little tip of a fang from where the tooth sat.
I imagine it's like, is that you, Papa?
Yes, boy, it's me, your dad.
Why didn't you just use a pillow?
So yeah, then you just you reach for the child, grab it by his shoulder, and it starts to stir, and then you just kind of push them to their side and just take the stake and just stab down into the heart, and for the while covering the child's mouth with your other hand, muffling the scream as you stab through. And for a brief second, you see those eyes just like watering in like just fear and pain, and then they just kind of glaze over, and the body goes limp as the hands fall. And the child dies.
God, I'm heart wrenched. So as soon as I hear any, sorry, go ahead, Glad.
Well, I was gonna say, he said as soon as the kid dies, he becomes a vampire. So take him out like a vampire to keep.
Yeah, just prevent the change altogether.
Yep.
So as soon as I hear any kind of like small scuffling noise or anything from the back, I'm gonna like start rolling up the scrolls, and I'm gonna leave one scroll like unrolled on the table, and it just like has the giant Shadowguard symbol, and it's like, you've been served by the Shadowguard, and I'm like, I'm sorry, we had to take care of the child, and I just like walk away, leaving like the Shadowguard.
Her
It's like-
eyes just go wide. Like, what? And then she turns to go run to the back room as you guys are like walking out.
I still need to sell things, sir. Okay, no.
So like the the scroll, like I would like say I took some time in the end to like write out like here's what we did and why, and like we have the authority to do this under like the king, the king of Ophrella and Shadowguard, and just like leave it on the table and walk out.
Okay. So you walk out, and like as the door like shuts behind you, just hear this earth shattering just scream. And then you guys kind of just continue on and walk away.
Magnus like pats Jazzy on the back as like I see her, or Elle on the back as I see Elle like wince at the scream.
I thought that was a very poorly executed plan there, Lappy.
That was executed to Shadowguard standards.
Subpar?
Got no blood on me. It was very clean.
She was served a writ. An official writ of service from the Shadowguard. And Glod took care of it.
I'm gonna get paid for this, right?
No, that was pro bono.
I'll just take it out of your pay. It's okay.
As we like continue down the street, as soon as like Luke isn't looking, Magnus like reaches under the back of his cloak and like pulls a little purse out with 25 gold coins in it and hands it to Glod.
Sweet.
So, and I think this is kind of the demeanor we see from like almost all the Red Suns. Like, they are ruthless. They do what must be done. They don't let their emotions really take hold with the job, which is why Glod was the perfect person for the situation. Whereas, like the Shadowguard, you guys are still recently new at this. Something like that is not easy versus an experienced,
Killer?
Yes.
Well, good thing
Experienced
Magnus,
hunter.
good thing Magnus doesn't find death to be sad whatsoever. So
Unless it's his own.
that's true, or his mule.
Okay. So you guys are walking down the road. What's the plan? Where do you go? What are you looking for? What's going on?
So fellers and lady friends there. What are we actually doing? I have no idea how to approach this problem.
Well, the woman from the herbalist shop, Izzy, she did tell Elle and I about a sighting of the vampire in the city sewers.
Did you say anything about weird elbows or a dog or anything out of the book that we would know or compare it to or anything like that?
No, nothing like that, but we do know the vampire was spotted for sure in the locked area of the sewers.
How did it get in the locked area of the sewers? That's a better question.
That is a good question. It is able to shapeshift, so.
It is. I mean, there are also like sewer grates throughout the city, like here and there, sparse, and like you have all the marks where Vivian's like checked most of them. And one of the few she hasn't checked is like under the High District.
You said that there was a sewer grate, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a sewer grate near the killing last night that we can kind of backtrack through.
That's smart thinking, Luke.
I am bright sometimes.
Take us to the spot of the murder, if you can.
Sure. Okay. As I walk in the general direction of where I think it was.
You start going back to towards the docks, and you end up. We're gonna shift you guys over. Why did that not shift on this screen? Weird. You guys get moved or no? Oh, it's come on the GM layer. That's why. Yeah, maybe this will do it. There we go. So you arrive back there, Magnus, and you see you kind of go a slightly different way because Luke's not exactly sure where it was at. He goes, and then you see at the down the ways going to the west, just a puddle of blood that is now like hardened on the grass. It's not really liquid anymore. So.
Okay, so it's like getting muddy.
At this point, it's like
so-
drying out. I mean, it's been baking for like 6 hours at this point. It's been
All right.
about another hour, if not maybe another hour and a half since Luke and Glod were there originally.
Okay.
Okay, so you arrive.
So-
What do you do?
It's like a back alley type area.
No, I mean it's a very minimally traveled road. There's about you can kind of see where Glod's token is right now. There's about 3 buildings along this way. They're not very big. They're not any of the warehouses like that. So it's a very minimally traveled road. You can see that kind of from like the markings in the road itself, foot traffic and whatnot.
I just like asked them, so like where exactly did the murder happen? I guess I see a pool of blood. It's in the street. It wasn't in one of the buildings. Right?
It's no, it's not in the building. It's literally on the street. Almost like they were. I mean, why don't you give me an investigation check really fast?
Sure. Happily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking at it kind of briefly, we kind of get like a flashback of how it goes. We see Travis walking north along the main stretch of road, and then we see like the Alp right on the corner of the building, kind of like just listening and waiting for someone to be alone there. It's late in the night. Travis is a little drunk, so he's stumbling a little bit back and forth, and then as he starts walking towards that, the Alp like turns around the corner. And yes, technically she was technically with him, but in this case, so she's still like the blonde, and she kind of like turns around and like smiles at him, and he sees her, and he goes, "It's you! I thought I lost you." And he starts walking to the corner, and then as soon as he gets to there, you just watch as she grabs him by the head and just slams him against the corner of the building, cracking his skull, knocking him out almost instantly, and then she just what?
Who gets knocked out?
Travis.
This is like what I'm seeing through my deduction and investigation.
Magnus, you see the like the blood stain on the side of the corner, and then we see her just like throw him to the ground and just literally start ripping body parts off as she's just biting into him. Like looking at like in a sense like the blood splatter in a sense. It does not look like she really cared whether or not she fed off this man as much as. I mean, you haven't seen the body, but you can kind of get like looks like body parts were ripped off. You find like an ear on the ground somewhere and stuff like that.
Okay, so like I walk all of them through. I'm like, see the blood scrapes here and the scuffles in the dirt. It looks like he was chasing after her, and then she was waiting here for him. And then I also tell the party like, it doesn't seem like she was here to feed. This isn't a feeding. This is a mangling. Quite brutal, really.
Is she trying to make a statement?
Maybe so. Maybe it's a message for Glod.
If it was a message for Glad, it should have been someplace Glad could have found it easily.
Well, he's here now.
I could have found it if I looked.
Yeah, but if you have to look, it's not really a message now, is it?
Depends if it's a hidden message.
Why would you hit a message without telling you how to find it? It's just stupid,
Well, it is a vampire we're dealing with.
They are quite cryptic creatures. Think about Nancy. Anyway, let's look for a sewer grate we can enter.
Okay. Why don't you guys all give me perception checks? That's what we'll just do a group one is what we'll do.
Okay.
Everybody roll?
So everybody
Dang
roll.
it.
Yeah, and the goal is more successes than fails.
10's a success, 20's a success.
How do you know 10's a success? You don't know that.
Because it's not.
I mean, you guys
one.
are looking for a sewer. Great, so
Dang, half and half.
So half and half. So you go wandering about, like you all like kind of separate and spread out through the dock district. The closest sewers you see, and you can probably spend another good half hour. So it's around 2:00 now in the afternoon. I think you go towards the town square. You find one of the grates in that road right over here where I'm pinging. Luke, you travel the southern section of the docks district, and you find no grates whatsoever in that area. You would probably maybe make the assumption that it travels down right out. The sewer system's all down below. Same thing with you, Magnus. You head to the north, and you're on the east side of the wall for both of you. Glod takes the west side the whole length.
So like we're like almost outside of the. Oh, I see. We're over here on the east side.
Yeah.
So Glod's like out on the beachfront area.
Yeah.
Almost.
So Magnus, you go towards the north before you hit the actual high district mountainside. And there's the same thing. There's no sewer grates in this area. And Glod, you spy the only thing you spy is a rusty gate on the north side of the docks, right next to the High District.
Up here, that's the one that they told us to go in anyway.
Yeah, and you do see like Glod, you do see like minor, small like sewer pipes, that are maybe like 5 inches wide or so, that like pool out into the lake itself in a couple different spots. So that is what you see.
So after like none of us find anything, I guess we meet up with Glod and find him standing outside the sewer grate or sewer gate.
I think you would probably see him, like you'd probably all meet back at the crossroads before you go down through the wall. That's where you'd all meet back up at. That would make the most sense.
Okay, Magnus is like, well, it looks like there's no sewer grates large enough for us to climb through in this area. We'll have to go to the one that we were told about under the High District.
Well, you were looking in the wrong area.
Yeah, well, I do have this key for the one over by the High District, and I like pull it out of my pocket. Because didn't she give us a key to it?
She did.
You know, I have an idea. Can I stop at a bar before we head in there?
Gotta get drunk to do a bit of killing.
Sure. That sounds like a good plan. Making it like a look like, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so you're going to the inn.
The one I was at yesterday.
Sure. Okay, that's a little bit of a trip. It's probably a good 20-minute like walk up that way. Because
Is there another shortcut here?
I guess yeah, you could go up that way. It's still, I mean, it's still a long walk.
Whatever. I will take that walk as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do is get a posse together with the promise of a huge party once we slay this bitch.
Okay. So
Yeah, I have the fame.
Okay. So you go all the way up to the Crooked Creek Cup, and you go in there, and what do you say to inspire all these people to follow you?
You know, I'm here to go hunt a vampire, and once I slay this thing there, you can all drink on me, you know? So let's all go down there and crush this lady so we can get through this real quick and get drunk tonight. On me.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Can I roll with advantage? I have good favor.
Because you have good favor.
Ooh.
All right.
It's-
So here's how this is how it ends up going for you. There's a bunch of people come in and go like, "Yeah, let's do it," and they start following you. They go out. You know, we see like the little scene of them all grabbing torches and pitchforks, and they start following you. And you have like this little small army following you down the pathway towards the docks.
I know lose like 90% of them.
As you continue to travel towards the docks, like it starts like some of the nobles start smelling the fish and like, ugh, and they start like going back, like this isn't worth it. And then you have like you finally arrive with with your posse behind you, with the rest of the group sitting at the rusty gate, and you're like, all right, I got a group, and you turn around and look, and there's nobody there.
Aye. A bunch of hosers. Useless ass people.
They realize you're going to the sewer, and they're like, we're not going in there. Screw that.
Useless people, you know. Oh, a bunch of hosers. Nobody's drinking for free tonight.
Say, you four are sitting in front of a sewer, a rusted gate that leads into the sewer. It is locked. It has just a little keyhole into the gate itself.
Magnus is like, well, it was a valiant try, Luke.
Didn't people from like all over the city come when he did the free drink thing?
That was free drinks.
That was literally the drinks are already there.
Yeah,
Right,
that
but
wasn't
people-
come kill something.
But people came from all over, so he really could have gone to like the poorer districts and asked, because everyone was there anyway.
That would have been a smart idea.
But now, yeah, you're sitting in front of the grates. I think at least Magnus, El, and Glod, you're the first ones to really notice it, because the first thing you get is like this horrid smell coming up and out through the gate itself. Literally, the smell can't be covered by the dock smell. It is so rank and rancid. Yes, and that's why like you probably had like two people behind you. They're like, no. So you guys sitting there. You grab the gate. It's locked.
Do I have any perfume in my bag from the general store?
You probably have some back on the cart.
I have no perfume in my bag at all.
I mean, do you carry perfume around on yourself? I mean, typically perfume.
I only emptied half the bag out. I'm just asking if I would have kept something in there.
I would think you probably do.
Okay, I take it out, spray some of my fingers, run underneath the nose. You know, that's so much better there. As I like throw the bottle over the L.
Magnus is gonna like reach down and untie a handkerchief from like around his boot. I imagine he's got hankies tied around both his boots, like cool like 1980s Bad Religion punk rock style, like chains and just like, you know, red handkerchiefs tied all around his boots.
Okay.
So I like untie one and tie it around my nose.
Okay. Well, he tosses. You catch the bottle of perfume.
I suppose I put it on the little like nose protrusion of the
Of
mask.
the
on
mask?
inside. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that way it just kind of stays there. Glod, do you do anything, or you're like, meh?
I tie my beard up a bit around my face.
Okay. So yeah, so we have Magnus with a handkerchief, Luke with like this like perfume smell, like you kind of see the scents just like trailing up off him. Elle with like spraying it on her mask, and Glod with he's now braiding his beard around his nose and mouth as a makeshift gas mask.
My natural musk. Out.
Okay. Yeah, and then Magnus, I'm assuming you go walk forward, you put the key in the hole, turn it, and and then as you like kind of like pull it open, you watch as like a little bit of rust, like dust, like falls off the top of it, like down onto your hand as it creaks open loudly. And then you all like walk in single file through this grate. Let's get a marching order really fast.
I'm gonna be like, Elle, do you mind going first? Or I don't know, maybe Glod should go first. He can see better.
And yeah, I'd either be first or second.
Oh, I know. Yeah, hold on one moment. And I like turn back around and I'm like, Rudyard! I forgot I have my zombie with me. He's dressed up like a weird noble with his like face painted way too white and like way too much rouge on his cheeks and like a shitty curly like white haired wig. And I'm like,
We'll send Rudyard in first. He doesn't need to see. You
Okay.
can walk right behind him, Glod, like a shield.
You know, a meat shield. That's pretty clever there.
Great way to check for traps. Just stumble into them all.
You know, how
One's
far
my way.
ahead we can let them walk?
There we
A
go.
mile.
Okay, should all now see your tokens. This is the map you're looking at here is just gonna be your group map of kind of giving you an idea of where you're at in the sewer system. So it's not gonna be an actual representation of distance traveled as much as this is kind of like you hit a curve and you have options to go, so that way you guys can kind of choose where you want to go. And then there'll be other spots on the map where we'll deal with battles and other things and whatnot. So, yeah, you guys step so it's what's his name again? Because I can't remember what your zombie's name is.
Rudyard.
Rudyard. Okay. So it's Rudyard, then who, then who, and then who. So I have this.
I will be bringing up the rear so I can turn around my gun, scope it out with my goggles.
Okay,
So
so
Rudyard, then Glod, right?
Yep.
Then Magnus will go, I guess. Then Elle, then Luke. Type it in the chat. Into roll 20 chat.
Cool. I'm gonna put them all kind of right here so I can keep an eye on it. Luke is in the back.
Oh,
Oh, look at Rudyard. He's so cute.
You said it was L after Rudyard?
No, Glod.
Glod.
Yep. I'm
I
first.
typed it in roll 20 chat
Right.
in order.
Okay, there we go.
And Elle actually was second to last.
Magnus. I got it now. I'm good and stuff. And then just Glad. That way I'll have them here so I can always go here quicker than having to scroll up from any kind of combat that eventually happens. So those tokens aren't going to move. They're just going to stay there. That's just terms of marching order, and we'll rearrange it as needed if so. Okay. So as you step into the sewer, the walls and ceilings are circular. You have old leaky pipes draped with cobwebs webs that run along the sides. On either side of the sewage are stone walkways, which you are currently occupying the one on the right.
Okay.
Yep, and then as you continue to move for a bit, the sound of your footsteps on the stone echoes down the tunnel. It seems endless, like you can't see the end. Endless, duh. As you so as you travel down the tunnel, you glance back as you reach your first corner.
My question is, how high is the ceiling? Pretty
Ceiling
low?
right now is actually quite low. It's about 10 feet or so to the ceiling in this area. But as you you're ready to travel down the tunnel, you take a quick glance back as you reach this corner, looking at the last bit of daylight that shines into this sewer. And you look around the side, it is pitch black. So those who don't have dark vision aren't going to be able to see unless they use a torch.
And that's just jazz.
Magnus
You know-
is gonna speak up and be like,
I could throw a lit pebble down to see if you can't see. Hell,
Let's just use the lantern. I think that's fine, right?
sure if you wish.
and then I'm like, I could just do this, and I reach out and touch the tip of L's sword and cast light on it.
You could also do that on that one guy and make him bright, right? The guy leading.
Yeah, sure, why not?
And then I take my finger and trace a little line over to Rudyard instead, and the light transfers from L's sword to Rudyard's forehead.
Boom! It's beaming out like a miner's little flashlight.
I like that.
Okay. So you come around the corner and begin to walk further into the sewer itself. You make a couple twists and turns just following the path, eventually leading you to a crossroads. You have looking down the tunnels, you have a pathway leading up to the north and a pathway leading down to the south.
If at any point it opens up into a larger tunnel or the ceiling gets any higher, I do probably want to cast Spider Climb and walk on the ceiling instead of the floor.
I will let you know if it grows or if it gets bigger, because in spots it should.
I want to go ahead and mark the wall so I know where we came from.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Spider Climb now. Actually,
Feel free to Luke, draw in one of the 5-foot squares right on the angle. However you want to mark it. Pick a color and just draw a line.
I guess draw a line.
Yeah,
Any
sure.
color?
Yeah, any color that you would put for that, and mark a line on whatever side you feel like marking it. And that's how you guys can keep track of your stuff, because you'll be coming back through this potentially at some point. Maybe.
yeah. So Magnus says, "Hold on a second, everyone." And then I whisper to myself
Legs like a spider.
and touch myself on my forehead with the tip of my little wand.
Okay.
And cast Spider Climb on myself. I don't use it yet, but it lasts for an hour.
Okay.
So just in case I need to run up a freaking wall at any point.
Okay, I like it. All right. So, you guys are at a crossroads. Do you go north? Do you go south? Where do you go?
Well, north would take us further under the High District, right?
It would, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus actually turns to L real quick and is like,
El, do you remember, did Izzy say which direction we were supposed to go? She also wanted us to collect some kind of herb for her, if I remember.
Did she say a certain way?
She gave you a bunch of directions.
it was
Oh,
really
yeah.
confusing, I think, right?
Yes. So if you want to give me an intelligence check, you can give me intelligence saving throw. You can use your proficiency with it for your memory. Either one of you.
Mine's very high. I don't know what yours is like, yo.
Probably not great. Yeah, no.
Got a 19.
19. Yeah, so you were trying to recall the first one, and you're like, she mentioned going right to get to the route, but she did mention that there was a door up to the north if you went left that she couldn't get through.
Okay, so Magnus is like, well, Izzy, the herbalist, she did mention they're up to the north this way, and like he points down the tunnel that way. He's like, she did mention there was a locked door. It seemed somewhat ominous. Maybe beyond that door might be a good place for the vampire to hide.
There's an old halfling proverb that says the right way is always to go right.
Okay, I'm fine with that. We may find the herb we're looking for regardless, so...
Okay, so you guys going right? Is that the vote?
Yeah, Magnus is like, little folk have good intuition. Let's go right.
I don't know if this is true, but let's find out.
You hear him say little, though.
I'm that kind of lead out there. You should be nicer to everyone.
Okay, Luke. That's just what everyone in the entire world refers to us as.
They're all wrong, though. They're all stupid. They're not down here solving world's problems.
This is true. I was just being colloquial. Excuse me.
Okay. So, you head down the ways, a little ways, eventually coming to a curve around the corner. And as you turn the corner, the sewer itself here gives way to a larger tunnel. It rises up to 15. It's 15 feet tall. And it ends up being, rough guess, about 20 feet wide at this point. The sewage itself is almost 10 feet across, and there's 5-foot walkways on both sides of it. It goes large. You have the water dripping from the ceiling in this area, from smaller tubes lead up into the city above.
And it's like flowing past at this
it's
point.
it's like moving along. Yeah, it's moving to the west. So
Sure.
out towards the lake.
Is there any natural light coming in from the grates above, or no?
No, in this area there are no grates. The only light you have right now is just what you're showing, and the little tubes themselves you assume are probably like toilets or outhouses that are closed and whatnot.
Sure. Are there going to be anything on the wall where I can put a torch for later, or no?
In this area itself.
Is there like a
Yes.
wall mount?
So, as you walk across or come around this corner, you see a bunch of rotted planks strewn across each side of the walkways across the sewage itself, and there are crates that lay about broken parts of the tunnel ahead. So,
Okay.
and inside you see a couple like wall sconces where you could light them.
So
I would like to light the wall sconce. Sorry.
No, that's right. That's all right. Yeah. So you can go ahead and do that. I was just curious if you could re-describe that. So you said we see an opening. It opens to like a little room ahead where the crates and stuff were.
Basically, your tunnel widens out as you come around the corner. It widens into a larger pipe that is 20
Right.
feet wide with a 15-foot tall ceiling. There are wooden planks strewn about, makes almost like makeshift bridges between both sides of the walkways.
So it looks like someone's been traveling around down here. Huh?
Yeah, I mean they're very dusty and
So maybe just old maintenance crap left behind. or
possibly.
something?
There are a lot of crates. There's some broken parts of the wall. You can shine your light and see a little bit farther ahead. You can see broken crates and stuff up ahead also.
Okay, I want to keep my eye out for anything catching light from the torch spell, like any glinting eyes or metal, even down on the floor amongst the crates and stuff.
Okay. Why don't you give me a perception check? Oh, I had zero music, but I didn't actually have a repeat. My bad.
It's all right. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you all start walking forward. Rickard's in the front, kind of looking. And as he walks by the first little bit, you're looking around, Magnus, and you see a glint of light shining in one of the correct areas of the sewer ahead. It's not from you. And then you're looking around and you look up, and you watch as this leech-like thing drops from the ceiling. It's falling right onto Rutger.
Oh no.
And we're going.
Can I roll intelligence to see if I recognize a gray ooze when I see it?
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm assuming that's what this might be. You want to do history?
I feel like this one, in case would
Nature?
actually, this one would be nature. Yeah, for sure. I was trying to determine if it was nature or arcana. This is not a magical thing, so
Yeah,
nature.
Crushing it.
I think you've read about them as this being more is not a gray ooze. This is literally a creature that is roughly about a foot in length and it has about a 6-inch girth or so.
More like a slug or
it's
something?
closer to a slug. Yes, where it has a gaping maw that has just opens up to round, sharp teeth. It looks almost like a large leech.
Does it like clamp its teeth onto Rudyard's head?
Yeah, it like falls. I'm actually gonna make a roll for it and see.
All right, go ahead.
So we pull this sucker up.
I hope it misses and dies of fall damage.
Or it just falls in the poopy sewage and floats away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and make that attack advantage. It's gonna bite. I rolled a 9 with advantage, which is not, his AC is 12. So yeah, it falls, it hits it, and like bites down and starts like, you start to watch it like try to suck the blood out of it, and then sees it, and it's like, and just lets go and like flops to the ground, and like just starts to like stand back up.
Ain't
And
no blood there.
then we're gonna roll initiative now.
Nice. I just had a really good idea where every time I get a new zombie, I'm gonna sever its head and then sew it back on so it has like a quick release top.
Nice.
I can just like pull a thread and like let its head release from its body at any point if I need to.
Oh, I need to, right, it's not Fog of War in this case. It is actually, I need to move your guys' tokens, or pull your guys' tokens really fast.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Actually, I want to do that to all the zombies' joints, by the way.
okay.
He just has quick release joints.
So you are roughly, you guys are mostly off screen, but this will be good enough.
I feel that'd be
Oh.
bad in combat, Charlie. Just one,
Luke.
sword swing and it loses an arm.
And
Yeah, that's true.
I miss Glod. That's what I'm missing.
I wanted to, and then he's also gonna be wearing a snap away tracksuit also.
Of course he is. Okay. So, he has a light, so I'm going to have it so everybody can see it. It illuminates light, 30 feet. No, light is 60 feet, right?
It's 30 and let's see.
20 foot, and
20
so
foot
it's
and then
20,
20.
20. Gotcha, so
Yeah,
it's 40, 20.
You got it.
All right, so you should be able to see now, everybody. If you didn't have dark vision before, you should now. It's bright light in that area and then dims out, and this is kind of where you're at. This creature that fell, you recognize it as. I don't think you know too much about it. You do know it's close to a leech as possible. It's vampiric in nature. Where it's known as, I don't know the name of it, but you've at least seen it in like books and stuff like that, where its bite almost works the same as a vampire bite. It'll drain the blood out of you and weaken you the same way.
Dang, I was hoping it was a flail snail. I've always wanted to see one of those.
Where'd they all go?
I'm not seeing a different map.
We have to roll our initiative, Aaron?
Yes, you will need to. And he falls.
I see the new map. If you don't.
Yeah, I
still on
pinged
the
you
group
guys
map.
down. You might need to refresh because you probably. I switched everybody over, so.
Oh, it's a little teeny token. I see it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's super tiny. So I'm gonna roll initiative for that one. You guys should have all your tokens once you refresh if you're missing it. Let's
Do
go.
I
go
roll
ahead.
initiative?
Can we roll now?
Let's go and roll initiative.
Yeah.
I got a negative one.
Yes, I critted. Holy shit, I'm rolling really well.
I got a negative one. I switched it over so it's actually public now because that was a mistake.
Watch, I got all of my good rolls out of the way in the investigation pillar, and now I'm gonna suck ass in combat.
It's actually more like.
Yeah, I'm
this.
still not seeing it.
Are you set on GM or something?
Is it a black screen right now?
It's on. It's still on the screen where we had the group and your drawn map of the sewer.
It is. If you like, I've been trying to ping you down below it.
Yeah, it's black for me then.
That is weird. Hold on,
Yep.
let me fix that for you. Oh,
Actually, before we start, after we get everything set up for this battle,
There we
should
go.
we take a 5-minute break real fast? Or, I mean, I
yeah,
don't
let's
have
go
to.
ahead. We can go ahead and yeah, I actually meant to, and I forgot. So
That's okay.
sorry for stream. We will pick this up. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, hit the bathroom, and we will continue this fight, and we'll see how it goes. So we will be right back. In like 2 seconds when I set up the screen. Right back. We are back. Thank you guys for waiting. And let's continue this fight. So yes, this one itty bitty little leech gray thing with a massive maw falls down, slips to the side of Rutger. I don't know nothing against his name, but it was close enough.
Rudyard.
Rudyard. I'll get it eventually. It'll take me a bit.
Like Seoris?
Why don't you
Yes.
rename the token Rudyard?
Because
I
it's
will.
literally just a zombie token. It's literally just the NPC. I guess for now I
You
could.
can change its nameplate though. I already changed it.
All right, cool. So Rudyard. Yeah, it falls off. I rolled a -1 for their initiative. So, Magnus, you are first.
All right. Sorry, I didn't have time to think what I was gonna do here. I'm first. It's just this one so far, right?
It's just the one that you see, yeah.
And I could venture across these boards to the other side.
They're
Well, I guess
yeah, they're I mean they're dusty and stuff like that. It may require you a check potentially, like a
I mean,
like a simple
actually,
10.
I have spider climb on.
Then you
already.
have no problem. Yeah.
I'm gonna instead run to this wall 5 feet and then 10 feet to the ceiling.
Okay. It's 15
So-
feet up technically.
So okay, so that's 20 feet to hit the ceiling then, and then 5 more feet. So I'm actually right here, but I'll put a little
Yeah.
wing marker on myself to show I'm 10 feet up.
Okay.
There we go.
So you run up the side, climb up, and now you're looking
So
down at the
I
little
literally just,
creature.
like run until like I'm upside down on the
Mhm.
ceiling,
Okay.
looking down at everyone. At which point I will cast a. I want to cast a ray of frost. I'm worried this actually might be undead. I don't know. I'm gonna do it anyway. So Magnus shoots a beam of frost towards it.
Okay, you shoot a beam of frost, and 11 hits.
Sweet. Sweet. Good damage roll.
12 damage. So yeah, you blast it with your ray of frost, and it kind of like chills over briefly, and then kind of like slides through the frozen body that you just created around it.
Nice. So it like sheds its skin and squeezes out of this
Yeah.
little frozen shell.
Just, okay. Anything else for your turn?
I ended my turn already.
Oh, perfect. Elle, you are up.
Where is it?
You can't see anything either. You should be able to see.
It's just the tokens
It's
tiny
on
out.
there, but
Oh,
there's people in the way.
Oh yeah, the little
I-
dude. Yeah, he's right there. I'm gonna zoom in for the stream.
Can I get to him? Is that a possible?
No.
You could scoot along the side of the sewer because it's like it's roughly it'd be heavy terrain for walking along the wall below Magnus and Glod. So it'd be 10 feet for every square. And technically, every creature that attacks you within that range would have advantage while you're still in it, while you're still squished against it.
Huh.
I read the rules earlier or like yesterday.
I don't know if I want to shoot it or take swing at it. It's a little far away, and the rough terrain thing kind of spooks me. You know,
Oh. Yeah, so you can technically walk through me because I'm up on the ceiling too. So.
That's true. Okay, so you
So-
come charging forward. You take out your greatsword. I take it, or assume.
yeah.
Okay, and you just slam down on it like a pancake. All right, so you do get your sneak attack. So you deal 15 damage to it. As you squish it and like pull back up, and it kind of re-expands back out, looking quite angry. Right. And it's oozing like a purplish green ooze out of it, like some of its parts of its body now.
So, I technically moved.
5, 15. Yes, you moved 15 so far.
Can I still disengage?
You can still get your bonus action to disengage as a rogue.
Cool. I disengage,
Okay.
and then I'm back to where I was.
Okay. So you disengage, you run back. As Glod, you are up.
So, I'm technically within range of camp back
Yes,
away
you are.
without.
You're perfectly fine where you're at.
So, I'm going to pull out my silvered rapier.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to... let's see. Activate my Slayer's Prey.
Okay.
Essentially, it's like a hunter's mark.
Right. And you can transfer it, right? Or no?
Yeah, I can. And so I'm going to stab at this thing.
Okay, 16 hits.
With my Slayer's Prey for an extra 2. And then...
I don't actually think you can use that on more than one creature. I don't think it doesn't work with hunter marks like that. I think only the hunter's mark does.
maybe
So,
it's just the one.
it's just the one creature. 16 hits though, for 13 damage.
And then, since I'm level 5, I get a second attack.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys are 5 now. 12 also hits.
For another 6 damage.
Yep. Okay. So it's you stab into it twice, and you're just watching like this purplish gray goo start just pooling out of it.
Can I see this thing? And this is at full cover or half cover?
No, it's just on the ground right next to Rudyard.
I'm thinking to myself, if I shoot this thing in this area, is it gonna make a really loud noise
Yes,
and
you're in a
blow out my eardrums?
No, it's wide enough. I don't think you'll have that issue.
Put in earplugs anyway, and I shoot the damn thing. We're smoking it.
Oh dang! I think right before you shoot, Magnus is like,
Don't shoot, it's gonna be too loud.
and then you like,
Yeah, and you watch. I mean, and this thing just looks like it just kind of turns and it just envelops it, and it just turns black and ash for a brief second, then it collapses to the ground in a pile of ash as you murder that one.
Hells yeah.
Okay. As your turn ends,
Reload.
Luke, reload. Anything else? You gonna move anywhere?
I'm gonna turn around. Do I see anything behind me? Is there
You
a wall?
see a curve of a wall leading up to the north.
Cool.
And
Cool.
it's technically it's a smaller tunnel too. So is that it then?
Ooh. I guess there's nowhere else for me to go.
I mean, you can move on to the boards and go other places if you wanted.
All right, I'm gonna take the risk and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 5. Go over there.
Okay. So you go to there. And that ends your turn. So
Yes.
it is now Giggy's turn. All right. So the first thing you hear often is you hear this noise as you guys can't see it, but something happens just out of sight. In the direction of where that little slight bright light is up ahead. Well, dimmish light to be more correct.
Oh, over here.
that's southern tunnel or?
No, the one where Luke just pinged.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, slight little light right there. And you watch as one of these creatures like kind of does almost like a somersault and lands in the area just in view. Okay. Maybe a couple. All right. So you see another one appear, come like squirming out right near it. I'll move it in a second. Magnus, you see one. I think actually all of you, if you're, is it in range? Let's find out. No, none of you can see that. You guys can see to that point. Okay, so you can't see anything past this point. That's what you guys can't see. So the other ones don't make a difference. It's not as of yet. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Hey, you know what? You actually do see this one. On the ceiling, you see one appear just ahead of you guys. Some of you should be able to see 60. I'm not sure why you can't. Maybe because it's dim light right now. Oh, the same thing with the wings. I like the wings. It's a good idea. Okay, so this one moves forward, and it squirms forward towards you 20 feet, Luke. This one squirms forward also. It's on the edge. It's not in the thing.
Can I make a statement?
You can.
Saying I see that? Hey, they're down the hallway there. As I point in that general direction, so the nose gonna.
All right, Luke, you are out of range, but Rudyard is not. As the one that's closest to you, Luke, like sits up tall on its back, like tail, and then just like spits forward this like glob of goo. So we can attack here.
Oh shit!
A 10. He's got a 12 AC, so I miss once again, sadly. Actually, I can make an attack against you, Luke, but it'll be a disadvantage with the second one. 12 will not hit. And this one I think will also be a disadvantage on the ceiling. Yeah. Okay, I'll aim for Rudyard right now. A 7. Okay, so that is their turn. I don't know why the music stopped. I will restart it really fast. Oh, I couldn't hear it. My bad. Sorry. Well, their turn's done. As Magnus, you are up.
All right. So. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm thinking. Hold on. Let me take a look at this real fast. What's the distance of my blink spell? 10 feet from the space where I vanish. So yeah, I'm not going to use blink yet. I'm just going to run up ahead on the ceiling.
Okay.
But maybe not too close. I just want to get a better view. Would you say it's an action to pull out my bullseye lantern and point it?
Yeah, because I have to use an action for that. So that which is an action. You do see, I believe, Magnus, you should be able to see this one right there.
Okay, I can't really see it with my current dark vision. Now I can. So
Yeah.
I'm going to move anyway. I'm going to move, what was that, 20 feet? 5, 10, 15 feet ahead.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast. I just think I'm going to do a level 1 magic missile. And I'm going to put one dart at each slug that I can see. I can see 1, 2, like 3. So from top to bottom. So Magnus says, "Magic missile!" and shoots 3 glowing darts out of his fingertip.
At which one, just so I'm clear?
One at each, from top to bottom.
Okay.
Because I can see 3. So 2 here, 5 here, and 3 down here.
5 and 3.
And Rudyard's movement is 20, I believe.
Yes.
He shambles forward. Actually, he can take a dodge or a dash technically, right?
Okay. Yeah, he can.
He's gonna I'm gonna be like, "Rudyard, go!" and like point him forward. And he's just gonna like amble towards the. So this one here, does it?
It's on the ceiling.
Okay, that's what I was asked. That was my question. Dang. I guess I'm gonna have Rudyard try and cross on those shoddy boxes next turn.
It was nice knowing you as he sinks to his death.
Elle, you are up.
My vision is only on Rudyard, by the way.
That's because he has light.
Technically, he's the one who has light, so he runs, and you can, like, it's your. You can only see him here. I'll give you enough view so you can see your token at least.
Yeah.
Can you see your token now?
I can see a lot.
See a lot. How about now?
It's fine. I mean, like.
I mean, as long as if it's just barely around you, that's all that matters. Because you shouldn't be able to really. That way, you can move your token still.
You can select her token and hit Control L, and you can see what she's seeing.
I did not know that one. Yeah, okay, that's perfect.
Oh.
That is a new one. How do I get out of there?
Yeah.
Okay, just click off it. That's awesome.
Just click away. That's the best dynamic lighting trick you'll ever learn. Roll 20 tricks right here at Chop Shop Network.
Haha. What do you do, Al?
I think I'm gonna shoot my bow at which one did he do the most to?
I mean, it's 3 missiles. You can't really tell.
I hit all of them.
You hit them all, so.
About the same.
Cool. So I guess I'll go with this guy.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see Magnus, so you obviously will not hit him because he's in the light of Rudyard. So go ahead and just make an attack. 13 hits. You do not get your sneak attack damage because you're not within 5 feet of it, and there's no ally. So you deal 11 damage to it as it hits it and like pins it into the wall, and then it kind of like squeezes through it, and like the arrow's so stuck to a box back there.
I think I'm gonna move forward a bit.
Okay.
I don't really want to stand on a bridge. I can't. Is that
You're fine.
okay?
Yeah, I mean, if there's floor there, then there's floor there. The only place you run into a weird spot is on the other side would be where you'd maybe have an issue at, but you're fine there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Glod, you are up.
So I'm gonna take out my bow.
Mhm.
Cast Hunter's Mark on this northern one.
Okay.
And then it'll be 2 shots. So 17 damage on that one.
Okay. 17 to that one. And
Plus another 11.
11. Okay, yeah.
28.
You hit it twice, and it's like struggling to get out of the bolts now. It's just oozing this goo once again. It's not looking so good.
Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Before your turn starts, Luke, really fast, Al, you do see like off in the distance around the corner this like purple pulsating like blob, in one of the corners, or up in one of the broken parts of the wall. Just clarifying that one, if you want to. Yep.
I see it as well, right?
Yeah, I think. No, you do as your zombie does, but you do not. I literally use dynamic lighting to check it. Only person who can see it right now is L.
Did she describe what it looked like to us? I'm guessing she did. She wanted us to get it.
That does not look like the route that you were asked to get.
Okay.
So, Luke, it is your turn though.
Hey, I just realized that I have mollies. To use one.
You want
Yeah.
to throw it?
Right here to hit both
You
of
have
them.
what? You have a bunch of-
Molotovs.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
No, not mollies. Molly.
Okay. Would you give me a range attack roll, which is with your dex without proficiency?
Just roll dex.
So roll dex, yeah.
Boop.
14 hits. So you throw. Where do we have him do dex? We'll have to look it back up and see what we had him do for these
It's
things.
throwing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you throw it hits in the square you wanted it to hit. Go ahead and give me a 2d6 for the fire damage.
Boom! 4 damage.
All right. So it does the 4 damage hits, and you just hear them shriek out in pain.
Aha!
Like it burned them much more than you expected it probably would have.
Aha! Is there a box for me to hide behind?
No, they're all crumbled to dust and broken apart.
Is there anything I can hide behind?
No.
I run across here to hide behind Glod.
Okay. So, yeah, the one that all of you have attacked so far is just looks like it's barely holding on. It's like barely scooting forward, whereas the other one is just looks pissed off. Its mouth wide and agape. Is that your turn, Luke?
If I go prone, will it be harder to hit me for a range attack?
Yes, technically they have
All right.
disadvantage. You go prone.
I dive behind him and go prone.
Okay. As it's now their turn. The one that's on the ceiling goes to Rudyard and then falls on him. I'm not going to move him yet. And he will make a bite attack. A 22, which hits. And then you take 5 piercing. It does not make a difference for him. And plus 1 necrotic. So you take 6 damage total on him as it lands, and then it uses its bonus action to attach itself to Rudyard. So it's technically in the same square. I'll put it on top. That's what we'll do. To front. So now it's attached onto Rudyard's head, like sucking its brain out at this point. The other ones scoot forward.
Through the fire?
Well, I mean, there's nothing for the fire to burn in there except for the box. I guess this one actually probably would. This box will be on fire.
On the ground, you know.
Yeah, it kind of explodes and then it goes out. But in this case, this is a box. So that box does burn. This one takes 1 damage and dies.
Yeah.
This one though is not. It moves up 20 feet. It's actually on the walkway. It's not on the boat. And then it looks at you, Luke, and then looks around. And it sees you, Elle, and it spits poison towards you. 18
Ooh.
hits. 4. 5 poison. Now, I believe since you're level 5, you have uncanny dodge now, Elle.
Uh-huh.
So, you haven't had it used yet since we haven't had combat since. I don't think we've even added it in here. Why have we not had this added? We confirm that you have uncanny dodge at this level. Because you can use your reaction to half the damage of 1 attack every round.
Yes, it's level 5.
Oh.
Yeah, you have uncanny dodge. So, yeah, you can just automatically, when you get hit by something, if you want a half the damage, you just use your reaction to dodge it. That means you can't use attack of opportunities and stuff like that, but you can minimize damage from attacks. Like actual melee range. Every time you have a reaction, you get a reaction back every round, yeah.
But yeah, it takes your...
So in this case, if we would round down, you would take 2 damage. If you want to use it.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
That's what I'm saying. All right, so you take 2 poison instead of 5. And then I think this one comes into view. Yeah, it will. So 1 more comes into view on the ceiling. Right where Rudyard's at.
It's under... Oh, I see it now. Okay. There's one like right above Rudyard as well, right?
Yes, that one's on him. That one's actually on him now, attached to him.
It dropped and fell on him? Okay.
It made the attack. That's why Rudyard took 6 damage. Took 5 piercing and 1 necrotic. And I think he might be immune to necrotic, though. And then, yeah, and it latched onto his head.
Oh, no.
Okay. Magnus, you're up.
So... Let's see. If how far was it to the floor, you said?
It's 15 feet.
Perfect. I'm gonna run towards this wall and run down the wall and onto the floor, like making a complete loop over the top.
Okay, right next to the creature right there?
Yep, and I'm gonna like shriek, "Vampiric touch!" and like reach out and try and grab it with my hand.
It like squeals in like fear.
My hand is like shadowed in like black and red, like swirling energy as I like reach out for it. Yes.
You get hit. Takes 3d6 necrotic. Go ahead and roll for the damage for 9.
I rolled like shit for
Wow,
damage.
yeah.
And but I get half of that
half.
back. I
Yes.
mean, technically I'm full, so.
Okay. So it takes.
And
Okay, it squirms out of your grass and lands back on the floor. It has like an imprint of like decayed skin in the shape of your hand on it now.
nice. Yeah, and then I will end my turn there.
What about Rudyard? There's a creature on top of him.
He's just gonna, yeah, he's gonna try and detach the creature or attack it actually, rather than trying. He's not
Okay.
gonna worry about detaching it, rather than just trying to punch it
Okay.
as hard as he can. Let me roll an attack for that boy real quick. Slam!
17 hits for 2. So it takes 2 damage.
He just like pounds his own head, you know, like punching this gooey sack on his noggin.
Okay. Elle, you're up.
The one across the way on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, it's on the floor.
Would I, if I tried to hit the one, can I get the one past Rudyard without hitting Rudyard?
That one's on the ceiling, so yeah, you would aim up and
Oh,
shoot it
yeah.
on the ceiling.
Cool.
Me try shooting the one on top of Rudyard's head. Johnny Appleseed it. Just don't
Yeah.
roll a 1.
Magnus doesn't mind.
I think you meant William Tell.
Yeah, I did. Johnny Appleseed. I was thinking apple.
But you know what? I completely
Yeah.
went with it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
I mean, let's test Elle's skill, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and shoot the one on Rudyard.
Yes.
19 hits. Technically, he is in within melee range of it, so you get your sneak attack as you deal 13 damage to it. And like the arrow hits it and it looks like it's about to fall off, and it kind of springs back and forth for a bit, still latched onto its head with an arrow between like its tail, or impaled in its tail. Anything else?
I'm gonna move forward a little.
Okay.
Maybe like beside Rudyard.
Okay.
Just in case. That's it.
All right, Glod.
So, bonus action, I'm gonna move my hunter's mark to this guy.
Okay.
And let's see if I can pull off some trick shots.
Okay. So 13.
And then 11.
11 also hits. Okay, it is not looking too good. It's literally just an impaled leech on top with like 3 or 4 arrows in its like abdomen area, while it's still just latched onto him. And that's it for you?
Yep.
Oh, dang, I had to click it. Whoops. Go ahead, Luke. You're up.
All right, so can I see the one way down here through all their legs by chance?
That one's on the ceiling.
Oh, can I see it?
There's a giant light right there from the.
Alright,
It's on
I
top
stick
of it.
my gun through Claude's legs, point up towards that one.
Okay.
And say, God, Dad, don't move at all. I gotta take my shot. Boop.
So you hit for 15 damage. No, 14, yeah. Can't math today. Oh, yeah, as it blasts through it, it illuminates the tunnel for a brief second and fades out as the lightning passes and slams against the wall where the creature's at.
Retract the rifle, reload.
Okay. And that's your turn.
I guess I stand up now.
Okay.
And then I'll end my turn
It's
there.
now their turn. So the one that you attacked, Magnus, looks and leaps at you to bite.
I'll use my shield if I need to.
You don't even need to. I rolled a 6. So yeah, it leaps at you. You just bat it away, and it lands back on the ground.
Nice.
You all, Elle, I think you're actually the only person who's gonna actually would see this, but you watch from the egg sack, 3 or 2 of these creatures come like pooling out of it, like they fall out and they somersault on the ground and like just look around, and like you look like they're almost like sniffing and they start like working their way towards the group once again. So
Get the purple sack.
yeah, they start working their way this way. They can move. They're on the wall. I'm just going to adjust it right now. And then the one's going to use, instead of making an attack against Rudyard, is just going to deal 1d4 necrotic damage to it.
All right. He's immune, or he's...
Is he immune or is he resistant?
I think he's just resistant because he's a basic zombie.
Okay.
Let me check that. Damage, immunities, poison. It doesn't actually even say that he's resistant to
Okay.
it. So
Well, then he takes 1 necrotic damage.
that makes no sense, but okay.
Zombies. Okay.
Stupid.
And the other one starts going forward. Since Rudyard is taken care of, this one's going to try to drop onto UL. I'm going to move it here so I can put it on top for myself. It's going to have advantage on the attack as it drops down. I rolled a 9. So, and then it misses you and falls and collapses into the area right next to you. And that is it. Magnus.
All right. Magnus, first things first, Rudyard is going to try and separate the one from his head if he can.
Give me an athletics or acrobatics.
It's just going to be strength for him.
All right. Yeah, he just rips it off.
He's like, and there's like tears it out of his head and just like drops it on the ground.
It
right
still
in
has a
front of him.
piece of like the flesh that it was
Oh, yeah.
latched onto.
Like I feel like a big chunk of his like scalp is missing probably. And that's an action, so he's just going to... Rudyard's going to try and cross these boxes if he can, if that's walkable terrain.
It is. I would say it would be another acrobatics or athletics. In this
Okay,
case.
so he tries to... That's as far as he could go if it's rough terrain, too. He can only go to that square. He tries to amble out across. Yes, and crits.
Without a problem, yeah. So he gets that, and he ends up right on the ledge.
So I feel like he's just like teetering back and forth, like.
There is a bite for attack of opportunity from 2 of them.
Yep.
One, I rolled an 8 and a 17.
They're
So-
both hits.
Oh, 8 hits too? I thought it had 12 AC.
He has an 8 armor class.
Oh, okay. So they both hit, and Rudyard might go down. I rolled really well. Okay, so he takes 19 damage.
Yep, he dies.
Rudyard goes down.
Rip.
Bye, Rudyard. You got me calling him by the wrong name.
Yeah, you don't have to learn the name anymore. He's replaceable.
You can just bring him back.
Yeah.
He's just dead at the moment.
Yep. So he like collapses like halfway in the water, halfway out, like floating on one of these crates in the stream. Magnus, however, is going to cast Blink.
Okay.
So, and then in my turn. So roll a d20 at the end of my turn for the duration of the spell.
Do you get Undead Fortitude?
Oh, he does have Undead Fortitude. Yep, he does.
So technically, the second attack would drop him. So he needs to make 1 save, and it's a DC 15.
DC 5 plus the damage taken?
Is it overall? Let me look on.
No, it's just from the hit that kills it.
Plus the damage taken. So yeah, it's a 15 then, because it was 10 was the second roll.
It was. I thought he took 7 from each. Oh, I guess with
Plus
the
necrotic.
Yeah. So and it's a
So it's a 15. It's Constitution.
Constitution save. Yes, he critted again.
So
That's
he
2 crits in a row from Rudyard.
Is. So he's at 1 HP and not dead.
Nice. That a baby. Good boy, Rudyard.
So you blink.
And Magnus like, reaches his hand out and tries to blink. So let me roll a d20 here because I'm ending my turn. A 15, yeah. So I do get to blink. On a roll of 11 or higher, you vanish from your current plane of existence and appear in the ethereal plane. The spell fails. The casting is wasted if you're already on that plane. At the start of your next turn, when the spell ends, if I am on the ethereal plane, I can return to an unoccupied space of my choice that I can see within 10 feet from where I vanished. So Yeah, I just like poof, and like I'm literally just gone.
Okay, I like it.
And I will end my turn.
Elle, you are up.
I think you said it rolled into the like.
There's one right below you. That's the
Okay.
one that tried landing on your head and then was
Right.
unsuccessful.
Okay, I'm gonna swing my sword
Okay.
at it, the one that fell on me, or tried to.
Okay. So a 27, you are alone with it, so you do hit for your full sneak attack. Which we need to update, I think. Your damage is actually low on the sneak attack. Have a second. Go and roll me another 2d6.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so you deal 25 damage to it.
Rogues. Rogues for the win.
Yeah, so
You're
you
the
just...
you're the glass cannon now.
So you, because your sneak attack die actually increased at level 5. So you swing down, you just slice into it, and you just take out, you kind of curve it back, and you take out a good chunk of its body. It is an extreme amount of pain. Both of them around you seem very slow and sluggish, more than normal. So you still have your bonus action, you still have your movement. What do you do?
I suppose. Can I get across like here, like from these
You
boxes?
could, but it would be an acrobatics or athletics to do so. And you'll take an, I mean, if you disengage, you won't take attack of opportunity.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to make it to here-ish.
Okay.
Do I have to roll first?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes with the roll. Acrobatics
Roll.
or athletics. Man, that's a tough decision. 23, I mean, just barely make it. As you go to, yep, you make it right in front of this glowing purple blob. Inside of it, you see these small, think of them almost like think fish, like salmon eggs, where it's like the little itty bitty egg inside that are kind of like floating around in different ways. And you see some that are bigger and whatnot, and you see a few that are starting to like crack inside. That looks like they might be escaping shortly-ish. Is that your turn? Oh wait, attack of opportunity. 18 does hit you, as you take 10 necrotic damage. Or 7 piercing and 3 necrotic.
Yeah.
Falsery's the same because she's a swashbuckler and attacked. She shouldn't get opportunity attacks on her this turn.
She's not a swashbuckler. I don't think she's a.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Why doesn't she get attack of opportunity? Am I missing a skill here?
I don't know. I don't know if that's right. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have mentioned it.
No, it's not a big deal.
I don't mean to rules lawyer. That's not my.
I
not my
know. I
bag,
like if
but
it's pointed out. Let's do it right.
Yes, I guess. I suppose. I can check on D&D Beyond real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I of course put my Xanathars away, like yesterday. Swashbuckler.
I got it pulled up on D&D Beyond here. Fancy footwork. When you choose this archetype, you learn how to land a strike and then slip away without reprisal. During your turn, you make a melee attack against a creature. That creature can't make an opportunity attack. So creatures she didn't attack can still make opportunity attacks. But the one she engaged with does not get a chance to opportunity attack.
Well, the other one was, yeah, she would have came in range right there. So,
Yeah, so only the
no,
one
it can't. It's a tiny creature, and she's in the water on literally crates. So, in this case, no, that one. So the one you attacked, that was that roll. So you take no damage in this case on this one.
Okay.
You're lucky.
Then I suppose that's it.
Okay, Glod.
So I'm gonna start moving up
Mhm.
since it's clear, or more clear. Move my hunter's mark onto this southern one.
Okay. Wait, no, the one that you originally attacked is still not dead. So you can't move until it dies with the hunter's mark.
I thought you could move 100.
You can move it once the creature
So
dies.
where's the one that it was on then? It was the one on the zombie's head.
Right here. Yeah, this is one.
That one. Okay.
It's the skull is your hunter's mark.
Are they all still alive?
You can
Yeah.
move it as a bonus action, right?
You
But
can move it as a bonus action after the creature dies.
I thought you can move it for free after the creature. I don't know. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, this creature's not dead though. This is the second one he put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll just kill that one then.
Okay, so you shoot it, it dies, and then you can use your bonus action to move it before
Yeah.
before your second attack if you want.
So I'll move it to the southern one.
Okay,
Technically, I won't get it on this attack.
correct.
but
A 10 hits for
13.
13, which actually, yeah, same thing. You pin it into the ground and it tries to like climb up and out of it, and then eventually just collapses to the ground and dies.
Great.
Okay,
And that will end my turn.
Luke, you are up.
I'm abandoned.
Hi, big girl.
You know, I think I got the solution here, guys. Is I light another melee column, throw it, the smash right there.
You're gonna give me another dexterity roll.
Absolutely. 10.
Okay, it hits. Go ahead and roll your damage, sir.
2d6.
2d6.
8.
8. So yeah, you throw it, it bursts into flames, and they both screech out in pain, doing more damage than you expected it would have. I'm gonna click that really fast. That's a really good one for that one. Okay, yeah, so they're both burning, and they have like charred skin.
Magnus and Glod.
And that's your turn?
That'll be my turn.
Okay. It is now their turn. So, the thing in front of you, L, wiggles back and forth and does nothing. You can't be seen. So the one looks around where you were at, Magnus, and starts scuttling towards Luke. Dash.
Wait, it's going through the water?
No. It dashes
Ah!
around. It dashes around, and like it just like kind of scoots forward on its butt the entire way. These two go after Rudyard. So first one, 17 hits. I need Rudyard to make a con save,
Okay.
for a 9, DC 9.
Oh, yeah. Barely made it.
Second attack, 17 again, for 16 this time.
And he, okay.
Still up. He's just not going down. So they both, and they both latch onto him.
What a
Nice.
beast.
So there's like
Rudyard
one on
just-
his arm, one on his leg.
I feel like he's just standing there, like completely unfazed, like, "Ugh." Just like watching them crawl up him and like bite onto him.
Okay. So that is all of their turn. Magnus, you are up.
All right. So that little bastard left, which is good. So Magnus is going to phase back in, 10 feet away from where I was before. So he phases back in there, and is going to. Where did they all go? Weren't there a bunch of them last turn?
He murdered. There's only 2 left right now, and they're both on Rudyard.
Both.
Oh,
on
and
Rudyard.
one behind Luke. It like scudded across the wooden plank and dashed towards him.
I feel like Luke can handle himself probably, so I'm gonna run over to Rudyard. And actually, you know what? Maybe I don't get that close to him.
Okay.
Or maybe I run past him, actually, is what I'm thinking. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually run up and attack the purple jelly blob as
Okay.
I run around the corner. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'm going to cast.
Cone of Cold.
I don't have Cone of Cold ready. I think I'm going to do a level 3 magic missile.
Okay.
And all the bolts are going to go at the purple blob.
So it does 17 damage. Okay, so yeah, you magic missile and just all of them hit, and you're just watching this purple goo just splash everywhere on the walls behind it. You're seeing the small mini eggs and the ones that are almost grown just burst as the magic hits them.
Nice.
There's still a part of it that's still moving and alive. Like there's a few little eggs in there still, but you've destroyed almost all of it.
Cool. And then I am going to let's see, what is it? What round is it?
It is round 4.
Oh, never mind. It's round 2 of my blink. I see.
Correct.
I'm just I did not roll well enough to blink back out, so I stay in the physical plane.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Elle, you are up.
I'm gonna take my sword and swing at this sack.
Okay. That is its AC. So Elle, you take it and you just swipe off the last that's left as it just disperses and gets destroyed.
Yay.
There's still 2 left on Rudyard. You see him like,
Just taking it. Oh, I forgot to do Rudyard's turn.
Go ahead and
on
make it.
my
You can
turn.
make his attack really fast.
I just he's just gonna attack one of them. Yeah. Slam for 3 bludgeoning.
3 bludgeoning.
Punch head.
Yeah.
Okay. Is
I think
Elle,
that
you have your
movie.
bonus action still if you want to do anything?
I don't really know what there is to do.
You can try to hide around the corner. You can dash somewhere. You can disengage for some weird reason from Magnus. Maybe he's angry at you or something.
I'm not.
Could be though.
For the sake of doing something. Ta-da!
Okay. Glod. 2 are on Rudyard. Now I will remind you, 1 attacking a creature that's in the same territory means you hit the creature instead. Your ally instead.
It's a zombie. It'll be fine. So I'm going to move my hunter's mark to the southern one, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one. It's a zombie.
So, Rudyard, would you please give me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the first hit hits Rudyard. He's now got an arrow in his side. He's like, "Argh!"
What a beast.
Oh my god, man.
And another shot. There we go.
26 hits for 11 piercing. Go ahead and roll your hunter's mark damage on that one. Because technically that's the first one to hit.
2.
Alright, so minus 2 more. Okay, cool. Anything else?
Nope, that'll do it. And I mean, technically, Rutger would only need to have rolled it. DC.
Yeah, I realized that as I was saying, but I was incorrect if he failed worse. Alright, Luke, you are up.
God, this thing next to me is terrifying.
I
isn't
forgot
it?
about that one. Crap.
No, it ran behind me. It hasn't
for-
done anything else.
I forgot about him.
No, it hasn't done anything since the last turn.
That's true.
He just moved there, dash.
Yeah, it's just
So,
looking, it's giving you menacing, like,
Could I pick this thing up if I wanted to?
it would be your action to pick it up. It's
I
small
want
enough.
to pick it up. I want to pick it up and put it in my bag of holding.
Okay, it'll be opposed strength. Or dexterity. In this case, it'll be strength for me.
Can I do dex?
No, yours is
Sleight of
that.
hand.
No, you're basically
Sleight of
grappling it.
hand.
You're grappling. You're grappling it. It's athletics.
Strength.
It's athletics, technically.
Yo!
So you-
Why? This thing is a piece. You should have given me sleight of hand since I tried to put it into something.
No, you have to pick it up first and then put it in
How
there.
strong could it possibly be?
Apparently, it's more squiggly than you are. So you grab it and it's like soap and it just pops
Well,
back out.
I'll just scoop it up with the bag then.
Next time.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna go jump over here. Can I jump over here or no? Since I made an athletics check.
Jumping's part of movement, so
Ugh, I jump over here.
Give me you still have to give it athletics to be more correct, but it's not going to cost you. Like you can.
And I will take the attack of opportunity because I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Right, but give me athletics really fast for the little bit.
That's where I roll really well. Nope, I know where I
You're
roll.
fine. Just be a 10.
Ah!
15.
I have
hits.
15 AC.
All right, so you take 8 damage, 7 piercing, 1 necrotic. And as you jump across, no, it can't. It's attack of opportunity, so it can't actually do that.
Yeah, screw this
and
thing. Wait, did I go
your
back to
maximum
this?
hit
Hold
point
on.
value is now reduced by 1 until you finish a long rest.
Oh, you mean my overall?
Yeah, it's reduced by 1.
Okay.
Okay, that's your turn.
That was reduced by 1 until a long rest.
Till a long rest.
All right, I'm just gonna put 42 in my hit point, temporary hit points, just so I know.
It's fine. Works. You done?
Yeah, I moved where I wanted to move.
Okay. It's now their turn. So it looks at where you're at, Luke, and then starts to scoot forward towards Glod. And it makes a bite attack against you. Rolls a 6.
Missing.
Of course. Why would it? Why would it roll well?
Yep. And the other two just use their action to deal damage to Rudyard. So I'm just gonna roll them both at the same time. So Rudyard needs to make a DC 7 and a DC 6.
Easy Sailor just bought a critical hit. Was that for a previous roll or the next roll?
Against Luke.
Yep, crit against Luke.
All right, hold on.
Oh, I've already moved. We've already moved up to the next.
No,
turn.
it's still. Remember, there's a stream delay. So I do another 1d6 plus 1d4.
Okay.
So
Seven
Luke,
to
you
six.
take an additional 8 damage, which 4 of that is to your maximum hit point. So you lose 4 more to your maximum.
That was mean, chat. That was mean.
How much?
I'll
How
let
much
you
was the
check.
total?
So you've lost 5 total from your maximum. You took.
No. How much points do I have to subtract from my HP?
You lost 8
Not
more.
total HP.
You lost 8 more, and
Alright.
then
I'm not feeling so well.
okay. Yeah, and that one misses you, Glod, and those do 2. I need 2 Constitution saving throws, please, for Rudyard. I still haven't gotten those yet, Charlie. Charlie. 1. Damn it, that's the number. Ah! So it's still alive. As
He made it again? Yes.
The second one was the 6. The first one was the 7. All right, Magnus, it is your turn.
Is there one left on Rudyard
There's
still?
2 still on him.
And the purple jelly sack is
It's
done,
gone.
right?
Yeah, you guys have obliterated it.
Screw you, jelly sack. I think the smartest thing to do here is to pop off another magic missile. Level 2, and I'm going to give 2 bullets to each slug
Okay.
on Rudyard.
I'll do the south one first, and then the other one.
So Magnus goes, magic missile, and
I gotta
shoots
move him
4 purple and blue missiles out of his hand.
Okay, so the one that you have Hunter's Mark, Glod, looks extremely weak, whereas the other one it's got damage, but it's not nearly as bad. And then Rudyard has his move.
Rudyard, again, gonna punch head. Punches his own head, trying to punch one of the...
All right, it hits for
Suckers.
7. Very nice.
Yes,
So yeah, it
good.
slams it, and it's taking a lot more time to kind of like balance back out. Barely holding on.
Damn it, did I roll a 5 again?
You did.
Damn it. And I
Okay.
don't get to blink into the ethereal plane.
Elle, you're up.
I am gonna try and shoot one of the ones on Rudyard.
Okay.
Is there one that's looking worse?
Yes,
Any
the
other-
the bottom one, the south one is.
Okay, I'll try and shoot that one.
21 hits with no problem. Yeah, you just shoot. As it kind of like finally gets like back out, and she gets sent flying off into the water with your arrow.
Yes. Save Ruddy.
Okay. Anything else, or are you good with your turn?
I will move back to this spot.
Okay.
And that's it.
Oh, I click on an accident. I gotta be better at doing that. My other group does. I always click with my other group. Glod, you're up.
So, Hunter's Mark to the last one.
Okay. I'm not gonna change it. You can just. It's there. For
10
10
damage.
You hit no problem. One more attack. Let's see if you finish it. And that is enough. It only had 8 left. So yeah, you shoot the last one. It gets sent flying off Rudyard and lands into a crate right next to you, Magnus. It kind of sprays up a bunch of little goo as it dies. And you guys successfully murdered all the poor little super creatures. You monsters.
What about the one behind Glod?
Right, I forgot about that one. That actually reminds me then, technically. It doesn't make a difference. You still hit them both because you have disadvantage on the attacks with the melee. But you're good. So, anything else on your turn, Glod?
Last round, did it?
That will do it.
Okay. Luke, you are up.
Oh, Luke's gonna take a break and drink from his flask.
Okay. That's a bonus action, so you can still do your normal action.
And gosh, Luke is just gonna heal himself.
Okay. Boom. Cure wounds.
Boop.
For 4.
So 6 HP total.
That your turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna click it. It is now its turn. It's coming for you again, Glod.
Still
you
missing.
Bat it out of the way. That is its turn. It's Magnus, you are up.
All right. Just the one by Glod, right?
Just the one by Glod. And it's looking decently healthy.
But it did take damage.
It has.
Like, Magnus is gonna reach out with his hand and just like twist in anger as he tries to surround it with his necrotic shroud spell.
Okay. 3.
Yeah. Takes 5 damage.
Takes 5 damage. Does Necrotic Shroud damage increase at level 5? It should, right?
Oh, you know, it might.
I think it should be a 2d12. That's when cantrips all increase.
It's the same as Toll the Dead, technically.
That is
right?
what it is. Yeah.
Let me just double check.
It
that.
does. It's 2d8 and 2d12. So go and roll me another d12.
Sweet.
Plus another 11. Okay.
So it just adds a second dice to each roll.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You can actually set it in the spell. You can change it to like a cantrip, and it'll automatically just adjust it
Right on.
to new things. Okay. So it's not looking too great now. Is that your turn, Magnus?
Yep.
Okay. Al, you're up.
I can shoot all the way over by Glod, right?
Yeah.
Can I like walk around?
You can shoot through Rudyard and whatnot. Maybe he's kneeling down trying to eat the slime of these creatures that are dead in front of you.
But what about where he is?
You
where Glod
can
is?
still hit. Yeah, as long there's bodies don't really get in the way in this
I'm
version
a
of the game.
dwarf, you're a human. You can shoot over.
Alright, I'm gonna try and shoot it now.
12 hits for since he's in range, 16 damage. Which yeah, you finish it off. It gets stuck under the bridge with the arrow, and now it's over. You killed all those squishy, slimy little creatures. You horrible monsters.
They attacked first.
They started it. Okay.
Okay, indeed.
I'm going to actually move you guys over here on this map now. Okay. So, we'll go a little bit farther ahead before we call it. I have a couple more minutes I can do. So, I want to go a little bit further. You kill off the creatures. You look as you kind of look around. Elle, would you give me a history check really fast? Okay.
Can I luck die?
You can.
Cool. Do I hit that or do I reroll history?
Just click history again. 10. Okay. Places like this look familiar to you. It looks like it could have been at some point either a den for some kind of thieves in the town, or maybe a black market or something like that, based off what you see. But it probably happened a very long time ago and hasn't been used in probably years. So that's just a little bit that you kind of maybe notice as you're kind of walking by. So you guys travel for a bit ways longer. Let's go and move you guys back over here. And you come to a pathway ahead of you that you see a couple dead ends. They end in like sewer grates that are like about 3 feet around in diameter. So there's no way for you to get through them as you kind of check back and forth. Eventually you come to another crossroads where you have a pathway to your north and a pathway to your east. It seems to open up additionally. What do you guys do?
Wait, where are we? So we went up
So
and then
you
right?
traveled to the east for probably another like 5-10 minutes or so in that large tunnel. Eventually coming to a place where the only option you had was to go north. Travel for another 5-10 minutes or so, and then you have two choices. You can go. You can continue to go forward, or you can go east.
Well, what do we see?
Why don't you give me? I mean, in general, they look like the same sewer tunnels you've been seeing, but why don't you give me a perception check? See if you notice anything like specific. Might give you a clue or something.
Okay, I'll say if it's just like non-specific sewer tunnels, and we're to just
Yeah.
nothing pulls us in any other direction, we probably just keep going straight.
14. Okay. So as you are looking north, you see what looks to be a yellowish looking like mold and like patches here and there up through that for a little bit of a ways. And to your right, the only thing really of notice that you see is that there is another grate, but there's another tunnel that leads to the north, or if you go east for a tiny bit.
So like the eastern tunnel breaks off to the north.
Breaks off to the
eventually?
north, yeah, eventually. And this one just goes directly north. But has like a yellowish mold like in patches on the ground.
Yeah, it looks the same to me. I don't know. I say we continue forward.
You know, halflings have a saying that the correct direction is always the right path.
Oh, we already did that, Luke. We're going forward.
And you know it hasn't stored us wrong, you know.
Actually, Magnus is gonna say,
Perhaps at this crossroads, while we decide where to go, we could rest for just a moment. I could use a bit to eat and also refresh my spells. Just a little bit.
You know, how can you even eat in this shithole?
Oh, I found it quite cozy. Regardless, I could stand to study my tome just in case we run into more creatures or, God forbid, the vampire.
Anybody object?
No.
I'm good.
So you're taking a short rest then. All right.
yeah. So like, I want to like sit down, like plop my butt down with my back against the wall, where I can like see down all these tunnels in the same direction. I'm gonna send Rudyard like 20 feet down the tunnel to the east with the light spell on him.
Okay.
So I keep a sentry on that tunnel, and I'm gonna study my spell book.
I'd like to go collect all the old things we just killed.
You want to
Hold it.
collect the bodies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of them are obliterated by magic missiles and the such, but you get a couple of decently intact ones. You probably get like, give me a survival roll. Okay, you're able to find like one of them that's still in decent shape.
I'll take one of them. What's the name of this thing so I can write it down?
It's a Giggy. Giggi.
GG. So I gain 1 level 3 spell slot back after studying my spell book for about 15-20 minutes.
Okay. So either L or Glod, if you want to expend any hit dice to get back HP, if you lost any, I don't think either of you did. You can. As you spend roughly about an hour down in the sewer, like resting and keeping an eye and collecting and searching and whatnot.
So what time is it in the overworld right now?
You've been in here for probably about an hour and a half or so. No. 10. You've been in here for probably about 2 hours.
So we're like, what, 2 in the afternoon?
You're
3?
at 4.
Are we making time for our fighting?
It's supposed to be at night tonight.
Well, that's at night, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, if it's a vampire, that means it's probably only here during the day, if it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Magnus, after a while, like stands back up and like dusts his jacket and his robe of many things off. It kind of pops his top hat back out, and then like whispers, "Legs of a spider," and like casts spider climb on himself one more time, just
Okay.
as we're walking in the hallway. So I have it ready.
Perfect. All right, so you're in the middle of the group still, but on top.
Not even. Nope. Just have it on, just in case we see something. That way, I don't have to take a turn in battle to turn it on. I can just run up a wall.
Okay. So
And also, if the ceiling goes above 10 feet high, then yes, I probably will prefer to walk on the ceiling.
it's 15 in this area
Okay.
since you entered in where you fought the creatures. Since then, it's staying at about 15 feet.
Yep. So I want to walk up on top of the ceiling and be like, I'll follow up here and watch for more of those creatures dwelling on the ceiling. And then I want to keep an eye on the ceiling as if it were, the floor ahead of me, just to make sure nothing's gonna pop out.
Okay, so you're keeping out. All right, so you're keeping out like that way. So then it's gonna be Rudyard. I don't know if you want to expend hit dice for him also. He would
Can
have.
Is that how it works?
I mean, I would think so.
Let me see. There might be something in the spell description about healing him.
I feel like he would get 3d8 plus 3s.
The spell creates an undead servant on each of your turns. The creature is under your control for 24 hours. You must cast the spell. I mean, if you want to rule it like that, I think that's kind of OP, personally.
Okay, then we'll leave it as it is for now.
Yeah, I'm fine with him not having any healing points. I just have to cast the spell again, basically,
Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, so you guys get up and you're heading north, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Rudyard.
I don't know. How
Go
about this, DM? Actually, I'm thinking real fast. Could I do a medicine check to heal him for just like one of his hit dice, maybe, and that's it? Like if I was able to like sew him back together and patch
Yeah,
him
okay.
Because I am a mortician. after
True.
all.
I'm gonna go with that.
And
Increases
that's, like,
durability.
Yeah, that's kind of just like I don't know. That's a good compromise, I think. Or maybe even just give me like a 1d4 or 1d6 hit points back. I'm fine with that if I make a
Okay.
good check.
Yeah, you made a good check. Let's go ahead and go with giving you a 1d6 on that one. Like if you roll
Okay.
over above a 20, it'd be like a 1d8. If you roll
Okay.
over like a 10, it's like a 1d4.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll like write a table out for that in his character sheet. So he gets 4. I like stitch him back together, and like close up some of the wounds on his body, and he gets 4 hit points back.
Cool. Okay, as you guys get ready to walk forward, so it's Rudyard, Glod, L, and then Luke, with Magnus on top.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys start to walk forward for a couple minutes. You see that yellow mold still around. Since Rudyard's the person in the front, I don't think anybody else is gonna really notice. But Rudyard, he's like, you're walking through it, and Rudyard steps into one of these mold patches, and just you watch it. Just Magnus, you see it. It's just massive spores just spread out in a 10-foot radius.
Oh,
Rudyard is
Yes.
immune to the effect. Magnus, you are just out of range of it. So I need both Glod and L to give me a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
Well,
With
Glod, but you have advantage on things to be becoming poisoned, right? Poison versus poison.
I believe I do as a dwarven resilience. Yep.
Okay. So L, like you you push your mask down, you cover your mouth quickly enough as the spores envelop you, and Glod, you just kind of stand there like with your beard kind of blocks your nose and your mouth. Whereas this poison would have affected you. You're not, but you watch as Rudyard keeps walking forward as you stop, and you just see spores popping up constantly as he's walking in front of you. What do you guys do?
I'm just gonna say, hold back. I'll send him as far ahead of us as I can, and then
like if they are okay to wait a minute, I just said like send Rudyard 60 feet ahead of us,
Okay.
as far down the tunnel as I can.
Sure.
know,
And
then-
you're walking with him, or you're staying
Uh,
with you?
I'm just gonna like hang back with everyone. Like we're gonna keep him 60 feet out in front of us, so the
Okay.
spores have time to settle as like we walk up behind him.
Okay. So yeah, you keep him way up in front. He's like stomping on all of them he can find.
Like he's like almost out of view.
Yeah. Eventually, you guys come to the end of this tunnel. At the very end, you see two dead bodies. Looks like they're like two different points of decay. One is in ragged clothes, while the other is less decayed. It's a. You guys get closer to it, or you can kind of see like one's almost skeleton bones. One is still looks like it has its skin on. But unless you get closer, you can't really tell what it is.
You can't tell if it's human or not, or humanoid.
It's humanoid. It looks like it's wearing some type of armor, and that's kind of what you see. Unless you get closer to really, really tell what it is.
I'm gonna shout like,
Rudyard, drag that back here.
So it grabs and starts pulling towards you guys. You're 60 feet, so it's only 60 feet forward. It doesn't move. It doesn't get up or anything like that. As it drags it forward, you see a female body with white hair and black skin. It looks to be a drow elf
wearing armor,
wearing
no.
chainmail.
weapons or anything.
If she had a weapon, it's probably back maybe where it was at. Because in this case, her hands are like open.
So as Rudyard drags this drow elf back to us, Magnus is like,
Well, you don't see that every day, do you?
and I want to try and discern her cause of death, please, or I should be able to.
Yeah.
Auto succeed on that with one of my skills.
It's a medicine check with
I think-
advantage.
With my background, I have this field autopsy perk. Whether
Yeah.
through academic study or sheer experience, you know enough to do a basic examination to automatically gain advantage on medicine checks. Okay. Find out how long something's been dead and what the cause of death was. So medicine check with advantage, 12.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious for the most part. It looks like she died to inhaling. Like you look at like her mouth and you see like yellow like spores growing up like from her esophagus. It looks like she was poisoned by this, and she's been dead for so long it's literally starting to grow in her body.
Is her armor elvish chainmail?
It is not, but as you look at it, you do find an amulet on her like her chest as you're kind of examining her. It depicts an unclad female drow with long dancing hair dancing before a full moon with a silver like bastard sword or a long sword.
So like as Magnus walks down from the ceiling to the wall, like up to the body, I'm gonna like take that pendant off her chest. I'm like,
Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to keep this for magical research if none of you mind.
and like I show them this pendant.
That'll just come out of your loot later if that's cool with you.
That's fine.
Okay. So as you were saying that, I actually need Al, I need you to give me a perception check. Do you want to use a luck die?
Probably. Good.
Okay. So, yeah, Al, as this is all going on, you're just kind of looking around. You don't see anything. At least nothing really of interest. Let's go ahead and go with Luke. Would you give me a perception check?
What's happening?
They tried to give her a crit, but they couldn't.
Chat tried to
do
give
it.
a crit, but it was like 10 minutes too soon.
Oh, rip.
When was the last crit? Because I feel like it's been a bit.
Luke's-
No, they bought a fail.
Right, about to fail, but how
Yeah.
long?
The shit.
It was 430 seconds since the last one they purchased, or 430 seconds until it reset, rather. So it was
Gotcha.
very close.
Well, Luke, would you please give me a perception check?
Perception check. You got it, Bubba. Boop.
Okay, yeah. You don't see anything there. You're kind of looking around at this stuff, like the body and everything else around. Glod. And then I'll have Magnus. Okay. So, Glod, you are the one who spots it. You were asking about, like, Magnus, you were like, you maybe even said it out loud, like, where's her weapon? She's in, like, battle attire.
Yeah, that was definitely the first thing I was looking for. It was like, does she have a weapon?
And I think
It's right there.
Glod is the one I mean, in a sense, you catch it, Glod. You see a glint or like a light blue shimmer in the in the sewage itself. It's intriguing, but to get it, you're gonna have to like get down in there and grab it and get all gross.
I mean, that doesn't bother me too much. I grew up in a mine, so.
It's a bit different. I mean, it's much smellier for sure.
Yeah, until you jump in and need a con save.
It's probably a poison still, so.
Yeah, you get dysentery, you die.
Perfect ending.
So what do you do, Glod? You go down, just reach down in there? Do you try to talk Luke into it, or Elle, or someone else?
I'll just reach for it. I'm not afraid.
All right, yeah. So you all
I
watch.
probably hoist the bottom of my beard up so it doesn't drag in it, but.
Right. So yeah, you hoist the beard. You watch him as he like lays on his belly on this sewer like walkway, and reach his hand down into the sewage. You reach for it, God, but your arms are too short. You come out and your arm is just covered in sludge.
If only I
It
knew
smells
Mage Hand.
horrible.
Well, Elle is the one with the longest hands. You're gonna have to reach in there.
I mean, you could also walk in there. I'm just saying.
You know, I get an idea.
Hold Luke by his ankles in there.
No, it's a better idea than that. Your ideas are shit. I don't know why I listened to you half the time. So, anyway, my character goes in, takes a magnet out of the bag, ties it to a string, and into the water.
So you take a magnet and just drop it. Okay. So
It's a silver weapon.
yeah, you
I
drop
don't
it
know if it's silver or not.
and you lift it back up, and it's just covered in sludge, and there's nothing attached to it.
Hmm.
Magnus is like, may I try? It'll take a few minutes.
Magnus pulls out a piece of chalk and starts drawing a circle, like an arcane circle on the ground, and casts Unseen Servant as a ritual.
Oh, okay.
And then after a second, like I just like whisper it in like this gnomish kind of arcane cipher, and like you see the water like part as it like dives in to try and get it.
Okay. How heavy can it carry?
It's a
Strength of
strength of
2.
2, so I can make a strength check at -4, -5.
Yes, because I mean, it reaches down, and you can see like the water. You can see like where you can see like the hole, and it covers the blue light, like fades as it reaches down and grabs, and it's trying to like pull it up, but it's heavy. It's not something small, it seems. If you would go and give me an athletics roll.
And it's minus 5 or 6.
4.
Four is-
Four minus
four
4
is
is
the
not.
lowest you can-
4 is the lowest.
I can never remember. Yeah, 4 is a 2. Okay,
Okay.
so d20 minus 4.
8.
Dang.
I mean, it's reasonable. It's not super, super heavy, but it's, for him, for the creature itself, it kind of is. You
Sure.
watch as literally this weapon just rises out from this sewage. Like, it pulls it up and it has it by the hilt as it pulls further and further, and it pulls out this massive greatsword. As it like pulls it, all the sludge just slides off of it, like it's pristine clean as soon as it's removed from the sewer or the sewage itself. The blade itself is made of some type of bluish opaque gemstone. It's not made of like iron or steel or anything like that. And then the hilt itself is like it's made of silver with ornate carvings all through it.
Magnus is like, oh, that seems rare. Ooh.
Oh, that's something I can tell you about if you want me to take a look.
I like turn to L, or Magnus turns to L and says, it looks like it's your size.
Looks like
And
a
it-
valuable gem.
It could be cursed. Maybe I should take a look at it first.
Maybe so. And then I order my unseen servant to like drop it on the walkway in front of us.
Yeah, it drops with the clang onto the walkway itself.
What can you tell us, Luke?
Oh. Let's see. Drop this, right? Whoop. So I sit there, whatever it takes, mumbo jumbo, magical shit.
Okay.
Mm.
So
What do I learn about?
yeah, so you identify the this weapon itself. It is what's known as the Moonlight Greatsword. It requires attunement under moonlight, at night, obviously. It will adjust its size based on the wielder itself. When you hit with this weapon, it deals an extra 1d6 force damage. Additionally, as a bonus action, you can emit a bright blue tinted light in a 40-foot radius and dim light for another 20 feet. The light itself is actually moonlight. In addition, any humanoid shape changers automatically turn into their humanoid hybrid forms and cannot change forms while in this light. So werewolf, werebear, they automatically, within this light, they automatically change into their hybrid form.
So would that work on this vampire? When
Vampires are undead.
Oh, as shapeshifter type. Got you.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then in addition to that, once per long rest, while you're attuned to this weapon, you can release a magical burst in a 30-foot cone in front of you. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw equal to your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier, taking 46 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Blah, blah.
I share all this information, but mostly pointing out the attunement.
So you can blast out like a huge force.
It's
burst
basically a
from it?
shock wave, yeah, in front of you. It's literally like it's not shockwave. It's more like literally just just pure magic just gets sent out.
Okay. So Luke explains all of that to us, and then Magnus is going to be like,
Is it safe?
Yeah, sure, but you kind of need to attune yourself to it, but we can't do that here, so we'll just put it in the bag and store it for later.
I mean, Elle, why don't you try it on?
She could, but she can't actually use any of the cool powers to it.
She can see how it feels, Luke. Give her a damn minute.
Elle picks up the sword.
Right. So I mean, Luke, I'm assuming you handed it to her.
I never picked it up.
Oh,
like-
you just had it. So you reach and you grab. It feels really heavy. Like, in terms of your weapon you have on your back now compared to this one itself looks like it would probably be lighter, but it's more heavy and like it feels like there's almost like a burden on the weapon. So like your swings with it are like you can still use it well. It's just everything takes a little bit more strength than you normally are used to, as it stands right now.
Hey.
How's it feel, Elle?
I think I might have to work out a little bit to get used to the weight, but it's nice.
Maybe that will change when you become magically attuned to the item.
Magic. I've never had that before.
Luke said you have to sit with it in the moonlight. to
Yeah,
become-
That doesn't sound like much to me. Quite a small requirement.
Indeed. I'm excited to see how it feels for you after you're able to do as such.
I am as well.
So, do you want to carry it, or you want me to put it in the bag for later?
I think until we can get to a better spot where I can use moonlight, it might be better to keep it in the bag for a little bit.
As in, like, putting the bag over it. Yes! I agree. Well, yeah.
If you do anything with that sword before I get the chance to use it, there will be
You know,
consequences.
Like what? What kind of things would I do with that sword there? It's too big for me. Plus, I got me and my baby here, I like stroke the rifle. Me and Bertha have seen quite a few battles.
Oh, her name's Bertha. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Like nestling with his gun.
And that's where we fade out. With Luke nuzzling his gun. So we went a little bit later today. I just kind of wanted to get to at least to this point before we ended the stream instead of right after the battle. So thank you guys all for watching. We will be back next Wednesday at 6:30 to see the continuation of them traveling through the sewers and seeing how well it goes for them. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Melwind. I stream another game on Sundays at 9 a.m. in the morning called Petty Squabbles, where basically my group argues a bunch and eventually we get stuff done. They will be finally arriving, I think, in their destination after a 3-week worth of travel by boat. So if you want, check me out there. Otherwise, I may stream on occasion during the weekdays if I have time. But I hope you all enjoyed today. I enjoyed the expending of the crit fail and the critical successes. Those were good. Yeah, thank you again. Charlie, got anything?
Yeah, just make sure to give us a follow on YouTube. We put up a lot more content. So right now, as soon as this stream ends, me and the rest of the cast from the show are going to have a 5 to 15-minute chat about how we felt about the game, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we want to improve for next time, and where we'd like to see our characters go. It's called After the Game. It's our kind of little after stream show, and you can only see that on our YouTube channel. It's a lot of fun. We share our thoughts about things. You should go check it out. So follow us on YouTube for that alone, but also check out Space Case, our new Stars Without Number sci-fi RPG podcast and stream, also on our YouTube channel. And check out Ilvermorny, the new Harry Potter adventure. Both of those should be airing again later this week.
Awesome.
And thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, Google.